I think
Yeah,
Iraj, can we wait for a couple of minutes so that other participants can join? And meanwhile, we can have a brief introduction about the participant as well as about me.
yeah, sure, no problem. So, okay, fine. So, hi, good morning and good evening to every one of you guys. Okay, so I request every one of you to be little attentive here, okay, so that you can see the slides and you can be fully concentrate on the demo session. And a brief about Manoj. Manoj is having more than 15 years of experience in SAP, and last 7.5 years he's working in SAP Ariba different projects. Okay, he's right now solution architect in SAP Ariba. Before, prior to this, he was working in SRM and he was having also experience in MM side. Okay, yeah, he led many projects and he's very experienced person, and he has associated with us, means like together we have completed nearly 44 batches of SAP Ariba. More than 1000 participants we have trained. So he is well versed in training as well. Okay, so before that, like every one of you will be, just I'll tell you about the this today's demo norms. Every one of you will be on mute, guys. So whenever we are having a break in between for question answer sessions, you need to raise your hands for that. So we are going to unmute every one of you so that we can maintain proper silence in the demo session, since this is also going to be recorded session, so there won't be much noise over there. Yeah, so hope you, thanks for the coordination. Okay, yeah, Manoj, so I think enough of participants already joined, Manoj, so shall we directly start
Yeah,
or you want quick introduction?
yeah. I think we should start. I think enough of the participant has already joined over here, Iraj.
Yes, yes, that really makes sense. Okay, all right, Manoj. So, guys, in between, we'll be taking the break. I really request every one of you to be, little alert here, because this is an introductory session. You'll be getting a lot of knowledge from Manoj. After that, we'll be taking small break where we'll be taking the question answer sessions. If you are having any personal questions, you can ping me over in the chat window also. Yeah, thank you so much, Manoj. Over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Iraj. Okay, so let us begin our session for today, guys. So today's session we are going to have a look at the Ariba overview. Excuse me. So when we are working, or let's say when we're talking about a Ariba overview session, so first we have to understand what is Ariba. So if you ask me that, Manoj, what do you mean by Ariba? See, first of all, guys, let me tell a little bit intro about the methodology as well as the things, how it will proceed further in our sessions. Because see, we have been into this training for Ariba for a long period. A lot of participants we have trained, and a lot of successful participant has came out of our training sessions. Why? Because of our methodology. Why? Because we don't have any theoretical knowledge over there. So if you ask me anything over there, the first thing which will come out of my mouth is like a basic terms. Each and every topics which we are going to discuss and we are going to see will be practical in nature. There is no theoretical part over here. That's the first thing. And second thing is like today is the first and the last session where we are going to take out a slide and we are going to discuss. From the first session onwards, that means from tomorrow, you will see that we will be spending our time in the screen only. Okay. So please don't be concerned when when I will be talking about the topics and things. I will be talking in practical knowledge. Why? Because see, theoretical knowledge will not help you while you do go and do a implementation. So our goal over here is like once you complete this training, you should directly go into any Ariba project and you can start working over there. Okay, it's not like only theoretically you're good. It's practical oriented over here. So first of all, what is Ariba? And here I'm not going to give any of you a theoretical knowledge at all. I'm just going to say in normal practical words what I have seen, what I have understood about Ariba. So basically, Ariba is a procurement solution, plain and simple, but with cloud services. So you can say, what is Ariba? Ariba is a cloud-based procurement solution, plain and simple. You don't have to read from a book and you don't have to say it over here. Why? Because most of the people will not understand what is present over there theoretically. But here, practically, we can understand this particular thing. Okay. So next thing, once we understand this thing, that Ariba is a procurement solution which is based on the cloud architecture. What is cloud architecture? Basically, cloud architecture is the architecture where the software is need not to be installed in a server within the client's premises. So what was the prior thing to cloud services? It was called as on-premise solution. So if you look at SAP MM and SAP SRM over there, the first thing is like it's an on-premise solution. That means what? Customers need to buy a server. They need to keep the server within their own premises, and they will install the application within their own server. That is called as on-premise solution. But cloud means customer does not need any server. They don't need to install it. But does that mean that Ariba is not based out of server client technology? No, Ariba is based on server client technology. So who will look after the server? So here the service provider itself will look after the server, or basically in Ariba's technical term, that is called as the data centers. That means Ariba itself will look after the data center, and within the data center only SAP Ariba has been implemented. Okay, so Ariba is basically the owner of those server, nothing else. So client don't need it. So how you are going to access the cloud solution? Basically, a URL will be given. You need to have an internet connection and a browser. Once you have both of these two things, immediately you can access the cloud solution. Plain and simple. Excuse me. So a little bit we should understand also about Ariba. Why? Because this is very important, not from a theoretical perspective, but to understand Ariba, we need to understand this thing. Why? Because lot of trainer try to say, okay, these are the basic things about Ariba, but why these things are important? This also you should know. So first of all, Ariba was not always a SAP company. It was founded in 1996. Then also, Ariba was not famous for its cloud solutions. Ariba used to sell on-premise solution. When Ariba released the on-cloud solution, it was in 2010. Okay, so Ariba cloud solution got launched in 2010, and when SAP bought Ariba, it was in September 2012. Why it is important over here? Because you will see over here, guys, lot of participants when they join our project, or basically join our session over here, they try to understand Ariba with respect to ECC and SRM, and that is completely wrong. I can totally accept this fact that when a client or a end user is thinking with this respect, it is okay. But any Ariba functional consultant or a aspiring Ariba functional consultant should not learn SAP Ariba with respect to MM and SRM, because the configuration, the customization, the architecture, each and everything over here is different. Okay, so that is why it is very important to understand, because lot of Ariba consultant or basically aspiring Ariba consultant, they think, excuse me, since Ariba is a SAP company, so Ariba's solution or the basically the architecting has been done by SAP. Wrong, guys. This was done from 2007, and when it came out in 2010, at that time Ariba was not an SAP company. When Ariba became an SAP company in 2012. So that is why the architecture of Ariba solution is quite different from SAP products. And you will see that in each of our individual session. I will show you the main differences. But you have to learn Ariba with respect to Ariba only, not to with respect to ECC or SRM. Otherwise, what will happen is like you need to unlearn the old thing to learn the new thing. Otherwise, what will happen? You will forget the old thing, you will not learn the new thing. So that is why this thing is there. So that is why you should understand the history of Ariba. This was the history of Ariba. And as I said, cloud solution means basically what you will need. You will need an internet and a browser, internet connection and browser. Use the URL and user ID password. Voila, you would be able to use the services of Ariba. So that is basically called as Ariba cloud solution. Now coming back to the users, who are the different users within SAP Ariba? There are two categories of user over there. Always remember this thing. One is buyer, or if it is easy for all of you who are coming from ECC or SRM background, purchaser. Purchaser is nothing but buyer over here. They're called as buyer. Who are buyers? Basically, buyers are the user who will order the goods and services. They're basically the employees of the client slash buying organization who is implementing SAP Ariba itself. They will have access to a URL which is called as Ariba buyer portal, or basically you can say Ariba spend management portal. Okay. Similarly, the second category of users are supplier. Who are supplier? Suppliers are basically the external users who will log in from Ariba network URL. And who are this user? These are the external users who will supply the goods and services to the buying organization slash client. They will never have access to Ariba spend management URL or Ariba buyer portal. They will have a separate access which is called as for Ariba network portal. Ariba network portal will be like supplier.ariba.com. Within that portal, they will be having access. So lots of people generally, you know, when we were working in MM and SRM, they used to say same URL we are giving to the buyer and supplier, and the only thing which is separating from the security issue is the authorization. If somebody gives a buyer authorization to the supplier, then they are gone. Why? Because they would be able to see what is happening within the system. But here, nothing will happen. Why? Because in the Ariba spend management, or basically the Ariba buyer portal, supplier cannot enter at all. Okay. So understand this particular concept, guys. And let's talk about Ariba network. So Ariba network, I think we right now know that this is the place where supplier will log in. But as of now, Ariba network is the world's largest business to business network. Why? Because currently more than 3.1 million suppliers exist in Ariba network. And that's the highest number in the whole world. None of the, whether you're talking about on-premise procurement solution or cloud procurement solution, does have a network where so many suppliers does exist. Okay. So these are the salient features of Ariba. These are the basics, very basics. If you want to understand Ariba, these are the things which you should understand. Now, next thing, when you want to learn Ariba, you need to talk about solutioning part. What are the solutions part over here? So you will see from a solutioning perspective, Ariba is divided into two major category: upstream, downstream. So what do we mean by upstream and downstream over here? there is a lot of technical jargon written over here. Sorry, technical jargon written over here. I'm not going to say. I'm just going to say it practically. What's the meaning of upstream versus downstream? So when I'm talking about upstream solution is the solution part in Ariba where we will find the source of supply. The source of supply over here is not known. That means any new materials and services which you're doing, or which you're importing over here, they will not have the source of supply. So in this particular solutioning part, you will find out your source of supply. Source of supply means basically you have to find the correct supplier who can give that particular material or service at a very good price and as well as good quality too. That is what we call as upstream solutions, plain and simple. Now, what is downstream solution? Downstream solution is basically your operational procurement. Operational procurement means what? P2P, procure to pay. That means PR approval, PO, GR, invoicing. Sorry, ASN, GR, invoicing, invoice reconciliation, payment. This is called as a P2P cycle over here. Correct? So this particular thing will happen in downstream. So the first thing first, when you're beginning in downstream, you should know the source of supply. That's the first thing. And second thing, you're doing basically the repetitive procurement that is called as P2P. So always understand upstream will always come first, then downstream. Why? Because both of the things are in sync with each other. In upstream, new material and service, you will find it out over there and you will be onboarding new supplier, and then you will be finding which supplier can deliver you that particular goods and services in a optimum with optimum quality and optimum price. Now once you find this source of supply, this source of supply will move from upstream to downstream, and there what you will do repetitive procurement. Now let's say take for example, forget about the technical thing. You will be staying somewhere, you will go to a stationery shop. In Hindi, we will call them as kirana shop. We'll go over there, we'll buy something, right? So if you are if you transfer to somewhere else, somewhere new place, what you will do? First, you will go into the locality and you will try to find some stationery shop. Once you find them, what you will do? You're going to just ask them that, okay, what is the uh, you know stationery things which you are providing over there? How is the quality? You will look at them, right? First time, 3 4 stationery shop. Once you recognizes, okay, this guy is my guy. Why? Because this guy is giving a better quality things at a optimum price. That means what? You have find out your source of supply. That means from next month onward, whenever there is any requirement, you will not go to the any other supplier, you will go to that particular supplier, right? Same thing, if you have bought a laptop or a mobile from one of the shop, and that particular shop has given you a good discount and good quality mobile or laptop over there, so chances are there is a high chance that from next time onwards you will go to that particular supplier only. So what is this thing? This is the upstream or downstream solutions which we're talking about SAP Ariba. So now always remember, whenever you will go to a project, currently if you look at the projects in Ariba over there, you will see most of the client will prefer to take both the upstream and downstream solution. Now when client does take upstream plus downstream solution, the go live will always happen in a soft manner. Why? Because in Ariba there is no hard go live. There is soft go live. First you will be doing the go live for the upstream solution. Once it has been done, then you will be doing the go live for downstream solution. Why? Because there is no hard go live over here. You are only having soft go live, iteration kind of thing. Okay. So this is basically the solutioning perspective. Now let us try to understand each of the modules which is present within the main Ariba solutions over here. So first of all, I will take the example of this particular diagram to make you understand what is the thing which we're talking about over here. So the first thing you can see over here is upstream over here. See, in this particular image, in the first point, it is written over there onboard supplier. That means if you want to onboard a new supplier in SAP Ariba, you have to use the module which is called as Supplier Lifecycle and Performance Management, which generally stands for SLP. So this is the starting point for your process. Okay. So let's say laptop. You want to buy a laptop. Now let's say laptop is not available within your Ariba system. That means it is not available within your catalogs. So what you will do? You will directly jump to a sourcing project and you will do a laptop? No. First of all, you will ascertain that which supplier can supply you laptop. If you don't have the supply list with you for laptop, what you will do? You will ask different supplier who are supplying laptop to register themselves in your Ariba system. Through what process this can be done? Through the SLP module, this process can be done. Now, once this has been done, in the SLP, there will be three processes: supply request, supply registration, and supply qualification. Basically, what is happening in between over there? You are collecting the information from the supplier, the email ID, the address, and all those stuff from the supplier. And then you always have one thing from the buying organization part, that means from the client side, that is the supplier eligibility criteria. So in the supplier eligibility criteria over here, basically what you will be checking, you will be checking that whether the supplier is able to do good business with us. Let's say for example, you're a very big company, you will be doing big sourcing project, 10 million, 15 million dollars worth of sourcing project. There, if you take a supplier whose annual profit or annual revenue is less than 1 million, what will happen? There's a very high chance that that particular supplier will not be able to deliver on the sourcing project. So that is why every client as well as every buying organization will have a supplier eligibility criteria that will be checked with the help of questionnaires over here. So in the supplier registration and supplier qualification questionnaires, you are going to ask about those things, different thing related to the financial health of the supplier, the project health of the supplier, what things they have done in the past, where they have done all of this information, whether they are ISO certified or not. All of these things you are going to capture. Once you capture this thing, what will happen? Then your supplier manager can take a decision from the client side that okay, this supplier is maintaining the eligibility, so we can onboard the supplier. If the supplier is not maintaining eligibility, you will reject it back. Meanwhile, on the supply side, what is happening? Supplier is registering themselves in Ariba network over there. Once they register themselves with Ariba network over there, what will happen? They will have a separate AN ID. And once buying organization decides that this supplier is very good, approve, that AN ID will be synced from Ariba network into SLP. And this supplier can take part in your sourcing project. That is the end for supplier registration. Supplier qualification, on the other hand, guys, remember over here that supplier qualification is not that easy, because many trainer, you can go to many trainer over there and they will say over there theoretically that supplier qualification means immediately after supplier registration you will do supplier qualification, done. Actually, it is quite wrong. See, for a theoretical perspective it is okay, but for a project perspective it is very wrong. Why? Because your client will say, what's the difference between a potential supplier and a full-fledged supplier? Potential supplier means that guy has not won a sourcing project, neither they have done a contract with us. They are called as potential supplier. Full-fledged supplier means what? They have won multiple sourcing project. They have taken part in multiple contracts. Some of the contracts they have delivered it fully in a proper manner. That means what? That means there's a difference between a potential supplier and a full-fledged supplier. So how you can identify them? By looking at their status. If the supplier is still in registered status, then it's a potential supplier. If supplier is in qualified status, it's a full-fledged supplier. So always remember, qualification you will do it after the sourcing project process. Okay. So till registration you have done, you have onboarded the supplier. Now supplier can be included in your sourcing project. Next thing, what you will do, you will discover and negotiate over there. Basically, discover and negotiate means you will be doing this thing with the help of Ariba sourcing module. What is there in the sourcing module? Basically, you will be having a sourcing project. So if you ask me that, Manoj, don't tell me technical things. In plain words, you make me understand what is Ariba sourcing or basically sourcing project. In plain word, I will say to you guys, it's tendering. Just like you will go to a shop, okay? You know about the phone which you want to buy. You will say, boss, I have a budget of around 20,000 INR. I want this specs over there. Can you suggest me some phone? They will tell you, okay, we are having some Samsung phone, some uh, Xiaomi phone, okay, some Honor phones over there, or Huawei phones over there, okay. So they will tell you, okay, within this budget, these are the phones which you can buy. So you will do this with multiple, multiple what shopkeepers, and the shopkeeper who is giving you the best product with a little bit more discount, you will buy from that guy only, right? What is this process? This is called a sourcing project in real life. As I was saying, you want to buy a laptop. What you will do? You will put a requirement in your sourcing project saying, laptop is there. I want to buy a laptop with Intel Core i7 processor, some graphics card, 16 GB of RAM, okay, 1 TB of hard disk, okay, and Wi-Fi support. This I want to buy 100 quantities, and my price should be around, let's say, not more than 3,000 USD for each laptop. Then what will happen? Different supplier will come and say, okay, for this particular thing requirement, I will give you Dell laptop. This is the model, and this will be around 2,500 USD. Somebody else, means somebody else supplier will come over there and they will say, okay, take the HP laptop. That is also good. Somebody else will come and say, hey, take the Lenovo Carbon ThinkPad Carbon version over there. That is also good. Less than 3,000 USD only. Then he will decide which one to buy. That is nothing but sourcing project. Now within the sourcing project, you will see there are three things: RFI, RFP, and auction. So currently the process which I told you, this is called as RFP, which stands for request for proposal. You know what is the exact requirement. You will give the requirement and you will almost give a budget saying don't go above this. Then suppliers will give you their price quotation, and then you will select the best supplier among them. This is called as RFP. What is RFI? RFI stands for request for information. Now let's say you don't know about the requirement. You are seeing the laptop for the first time. Okay. So you will say first, boss, I need a laptop to start my work, but I don't know what is a laptop. I don't know what is its technical specs. So then what will happen? Different shopkeeper will tell you about the different features about your laptop, saying you need a processor over there. Processor is the main part. Then some graphics card is required. RAM will be there. More RAM, it will be better. It will give the better performance. Then you will need an internal hard disk where you will be storing all of your data over there. You can use the normal hard disk, that will cost less, or you can use the solid state device over there which will cost more but it will be very fast. all of this information they will give. What are this thing called? This thing is called as information. So here, always remember, if your materials or services which you want to buy, you're not having any idea about it, what you will do, you will create a RFI and you will say, I don't want any of you, means like to the supplier, you will be saying that I don't want any of you to give the price quotation right now. Give me more information on these material services. For example, when India wanted to implement bullet train, okay, in 2015 they first discussed on this part. So the Indian Railway Ministry was not knowing anything about bullet train. Why? Because, you know, just like constructing a normal rail line as well as for normal rail, it will, it won't be the same thing for bullet train. Why? Because bullet train will run at very high speed. So there are a lot of safety measures, even the equipments, even the line which will be running over there, even the, implementation of project will be very, very different from the normal railway project. So there they will not go with RFP, they will go with RFI. What are the information, what are the things which are required for implementation of this project? Then what will happen, different supplier will be coming. Okay, Japanese supplier, a lot of Japanese supplier came, and then they give their, information within the quotation, that is called as RFI. Then once you are having this information over there from the suppliers, what you will do next, now you know each and everything about the requirement, or basically the material services which you want to buy. Next you will go ahead with RFP, where you will say, okay, I want to implement bullet train, okay, with this particular technology, okay, this particular route for 500 kilometer between Ahmedabad and Mumbai. Okay, all this information you will put, and then you will say, give us the price quotation. There what you will do, you will take the price. So always remember, in RFI you cannot award the sourcing project to a supplier. Why? Because you haven't taken the price quotation. So RFI is just for gathering the information. Once you've gathered the information, then this information you will write within the RFP, and you will ask for price quotation from the different supplier. Then the best supplier which you choose over there, to that particular supplier you will award the sourcing project, or in other words, the tender. Now once you award this particular sourcing project to the supplier, that particular supplier will become a full-fledged supplier. Rest of the supplier who are there, they will be still be potential supplier. So once again, after the end of your sourcing project, you will go back to SLP. On which supplier profile? The supplier whom you have awarded the sourcing project or the RFP. Once you have done this thing, then what? You will qualify that particular supplier against the commodity code and region which you have selected in your sourcing project. Okay. Then what will happen? This supplier will become a full-fledged supplier, and there is a background job which will run after some time, and it will create the supplier in downstream module. And always remember one thing, guys, lot of participants think upstream and downstream are same, their database is same. Very wrong. Upstream and downstream are separate application within Ariba, and their database is also different. Okay, so this is how the process is running between the SLP and sourcing project. Then you will come back to SLP. Now once this thing has been done, what's the third thing which you're going to do? You are a big MNC, right, who is implementing SAP Ariba. So you will say, your legal team will come and say, boss, whatever you have taken in sourcing project, it's not a legal document. If you go to the court with those things, and if the supplier is not delivering anything, what will happen? We will never win it. We will never win the case. So you have to create a legal agreement containing all the terms and agreement which you and your supplier are accepting, and all the pricing information which you and your supplier has also accepted. You will put in this agreement, and then you will publish this agreement. What is this agreement called? Legal agreement, contract. So basically, in contract, Ariba contract management over there, You will be taking all this information from your sourcing project, and then you will be creating a contract. You will do the contract authoring over there. In contract authoring, we have two different ways of doing the authoring. One is ECA, which is currently used right now, that is called as enhanced contract authoring. The second one is DFS, which was used prior to 2017. That was called as desktop file syncing. A lot of issues was there. So right now we are using ECA only, enhanced contract authoring. So using ECA, we will do the contract authoring with all the terms and conditions as well as the pricing conditions over there. Once we have done with the authoring part, then there will be different tasks within the contract management. This task we will be completing, and then what will happen? The contract will be published within Ariba upstream only. Now this is basically the end of your Ariba upstream part. Why? Because the contract has been created, but this is not the end of your process. Why? Because boss, within the Ariba contract, your source of supply is there, all the terms and agreement is there, all the pricing information is there, and who is the supplier, that is also over there. This you have to use where? In Ariba downstream, in your normal P2P process, right? You have done a sourcing project for laptop. You want to buy 1,000 laptop for 5 years at some certain price, and then you choose one supplier. Supplier is giving you the less price with high quality. All of this information, where it is coming? It is coming in contract. And many people from or many participants who are coming from basically from SAP, ECC and SRM background, they will think this particular contract you're directly going to use it. No, you cannot directly use it. Why? Because this is happening in upstream. As I said, upstream and downstream is having two separate database. So you need to move the contract from upstream to downstream. Through which module we can do it? That can be done with the help of SAP Ariba ACC, Ariba Contract Compliance. Ariba Contract Compliance is basically a bridge between upstream and downstream. Through that particular bridge, you will move this contract from upstream to downstream. Once this thing moves from upstream to downstream, then what will happen? Your source of supply has reached downstream. Now there is no issue. Now what will you do in downstream? 1,000 laptop, you want to buy it within 5 years. So you will not create a single PR against this contract and consume the 1,000 contract, 1,000 laptop. Why? Because whatever you have planned it for 5 years. So what you will do? You will create multiple PR against this contract. Correct? Each year, let's say you want to buy 100 laptop. For 5 years, 100 into 5, 500 laptop you are going to consume. So that is how you are going to start with the downstream process. So in downstream, first of all, you can see the contract catalogs are there. See fourth point over there, broadcast it. Within the broadcast portion, you can see contract catalog. So basically contract catalog is part of Ariba APC. APC means stands for Ariba procurement content, or basically Ariba catalogs. So within the catalogs only this particular contract will be available. Against this contract, you will be creating a purchase requisition. Once you have created a purchase requisition, it will go for PR approval, for which you have going to see the configuration and you have to do the workflow configuration over here. Once you have done that particular configuration and the approval gets triggered and approval gets successfully done, what will happen? A PO will get triggered. This PO will go to the supplier via Ariba network. Supplier will see this PO in the Ariba network, and then they will do what? They will select ASN from here. Okay. Once they do the ASN, you as a buyer will receive the product. Once you receive the product, that means material services, you will be doing basically the GR or ACS over here. good receipt or ACS, depending upon whether you are getting material or services. Once it is done, then what will happen? Supplier will create the invoice. This is what most trainer will say to you, that supplier will create their invoice in Ariba network. Actually, it is quite wrong, guys. Why? Because whenever you will go in a project, you will see most of the supplier in big companies, they are always ERS enabled. What do you mean by ERS enabled? Evaluated receipt settlement. That means for those supplier, invoice need not be created at all in Ariba network. Ariba will automatically create this invoice over here. Once the invoice has been created automatically, then what will happen? It will come to the Ariba buyer. And within that, what will happen? Approval flow will be there. It depends upon the organization, or basically the client, whether they want to implement this, what? Implement this invoice workflow or not. Okay. So once it is approved, what will happen next? Next is like, what will happen? Next is like, we are going to get the IR, which is called as invoice reconciliation. Okay. So once you get this IR over here, what will happen over here? Within the IR, there are two things which is going to happen over here. That is three-way check or two-way check. What do you mean by three-way check or two-way check over here? So you will see over here that whenever the ASN has been created, okay, GR will also be mandatory, needs to be created. So if GR is there, what will happen? Three-way check will happen. That means the quantity of the PO, GR, invoice will be checked. If it is same, then the IR will be auto reconciled. If it is not, then it will be going into the state reconciling. Within the IR, you will see it is appearing as an exception. Then what will happen? Over here, invoice exception processor, this particular guy will come and they will manually edit the invoice reconciliation, and they will manually rectify the issue. Once it has been done, then a separate approval will get triggered for this IR change, invoice reconciliation changes. Once it is approved, what will happen? Payment proposal will get generated. Now, after this, you can see over here that we have put the 7th point as pay, where you can see Ariba Pay is coming. Ariba Pay is also a module over here, but none of your client is going to use Ariba Pay. Okay, for that thing, we have to wait for our integration sessions. But most of the client will say Ariba, the payment will always happen in ECC or S4HANA, always through the integration. Okay, why, where, when, all those things we are going to discuss on our integration session. But as of now, you should know that in almost all the project, payment will always happen in ECC or S4 HANA. It will not happen in the Ariba Pay module, because none of the client will buy the Ariba Pay module over here. So basically, guys, this is the major process currently. If you are going into the market and if you want to implement Ariba, this is the major process which you are going to work on, and you have to implement this process only. This particular process is generally called as S2P, source to pay, over here, guys. Okay, next, what are the things which we are covering within our training sessions? So almost, I think all of you have got the uh, session details, that means the course details over there. But still, we want to just rectify, or basically mention it once more over here. So we are going to cover the Ariba SLP over here. We are going to cover the Ariba sourcing part, Ariba contracting part, Ariba contract compliance part. Along with that, we are also going to cover the Ariba reporting parts, that is the prepackaged reportings. Then Ariba buying, as well as buying and invoicing. Basically, both of these things are previously used to call as Ariba P2P, that is procure to pay. Okay, these things also we are going to cover. We are going to cover the Ariba catalogs. Okay, and then along with that, we are also going to cover the guided buying in Ariba downstream, and as well as the integration. Now, along with this thing, guys, all the configuration in upstream, you will be doing basically the configuration through template configuration. We are going to see each and everything within the template configuration. Similarly, for the downstream, we will be seeing how to do the catalogs loading, how to do the catalogs configuration. Similarly, how to do the approval configurations, both in upstream and downstream. We are going to see each and everything. We are going to see the simple scenarios, then we will be going to the intermediate scenario, then we will go to the complex scenario. Similarly, on integration, now most of the trainer, if you go in the any sessions, you will see they will say integration means only configuration, which is basically bullshit. Why? Because for me, integration means designing the whole business process across different system landscape. That means you are doing this S2P implementation across different parts of ECC or S4 HANA, Ariba Spend Management or slash Ariba Buyer Portal, as well as Ariba Network. So basically, you are designing the scenarios. So first of all, you will see in our integration scenario, we are going to cover the manual data loads, which you have to mandatorily do. Similarly, we will be talking about the scenarios first. Generally, which client will prefer to use which scenario? Those scenarios we are going to talk about, that how this particular scenario can be designed, how it can be built. Once you can build this scenario, your work is 70% to 75% done. Then what is the next thing which we are going to see? Then we are going to see the configuration. Why? Because once you know how to build a scenario, then you will exactly be clear with your integration. Okay, Manoj, for GR, I will go to this system. For PO, I will go to this system. For sourcing, I will go to this system. I know what is the exact system for this exact process. Then we are going to see the configuration. Then it will make sense. Then only you can go into a market or basically in a project and you can do the implementation. Otherwise, only configuration, nothing will help. Why? Because you won't be able to design the integration scenarios. So this is basically, guys, the content which we have for today's session. So Eraj, I think we are done with our overview session. I think please go ahead and show the participants that what are the other things that which we are going to share with them. Then we can have a question answer session over there.
Sure, Manoj. Sure, sure. Just a second. I'm just checking.
Yeah, yeah. So guys, very shortly, Eraj will show you the different things. Apart from, see, the thing is like most of the participants think like the training should be good over here. Yes, training is definitely good. So that is why we are in the market for such long period, and so many participants we have trained. But apart from our training, you will see specifically the document, the support, and all the supporting things which are present along with us with our radically different teaching methodology over here. Those things are also value added. So those things
Yes.
also will matter a lot over here, guys.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Manoj. So there was some disturbance here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me show my screen. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Just a second. Can you see my screen?
yeah, Raj. It is coming properly.
Yeah. All right, guys. So basically, in this, a quite short of span, I'm going to discuss with you like what would be the offering for this particular training. Okay, so guys, I request every one of you to just have a look on the screen so that you won't miss out any of the uh, bit and piece of the information. Okay, yeah. So here basically first thing, all the sessions which you are attending also going to be recorded. Okay, and all those recordings we are going to share with you everyone. Okay, so these recordings will be in a better format, like we'll be sharing with you all these 6 folders. Okay, first is session recordings, Ariba access, notepads, documents, certification material, and learning hub videos also. Okay, in session recordings basically you'll be having the list of all the sessions which are being conducted. Every session is going to be recorded, and we'll be providing with the recording immediately after the session. Okay, the second part would be the Ariba access, because here we are putting the document where you can have the information about Ariba access, how to access spend management, and how to access Ariba network. Okay, basically you'll be giving 2 different URLs for you to do the access, and this access will be valid for the entire training. Okay, so let's say we are starting from tomorrow, so there's going to be 6 sessions for the entire training. Okay, so we have a yeah, Manoj, am I audible to you? Hello, Manoj.
Yeah, Eraj, right now I think your voice is coming properly, but just 1 minute ago your voice was a little bit breaking up.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for that. So I was just talking about this notepad thing. So this is basically the notepad where Manoj will be showing the processes while in the sessions. As Manoj said before, like this is the only first theoretical session. All the sessions are going to be pretty much practical. Everything, most of the things are going to be shown in the system itself, and we'll be having the standard documents. You see, guys, we are having lot many documents here. Okay, so many documents are there. So those documents we are going to show to you one by one. One second, I don't know what is happening here. Manoj, am I audible to you?
Yeah, yeah, Eraj, you're audible properly. I think there is some problem with the browser, I think.
Yeah, one second, just a second.
Yeah,
Okay, anyways, like what I'll do is like the same replica I'm having here also in my drive, so that
yeah,
it would be easier for everyone to get. So can you see my drive right now,
yeah,
Manoj?
yeah, Eraj. Yeah, it is
Okay,
properly
all
visible.
right. Yeah, so I'll just show you the list of documents first, guys. So these are the documents what we are having. So I was just talking about the certification material. Okay, so these are the list of certification materials which will be shared with you. So all the AR series. So what is certification material? I think like most of you might have aware like what certification uh you know the documents are there. Basically here you see like there for SAP Ariba there are nearly 11 certifications are there here. Okay, there are 11 certifications. So for to support all these 11 certifications, we do have the proper documents for each and every certification. Okay, so these are the documents which are very difficult to get it in the market. Okay, so we have a very complete, we have a full collection of all SAP Ariba documents. So we do have best practices, we do have standard SAP documents, we do have the documents which are prepared by us. Okay, so there are so many different documents which will be as part of the sharing. Okay, so these are the things which will be sharing to you, and uh, this is going to be a very practical session. Okay, all the, I can say like 80% of the work will be on the system itself. Directly we are showing every process in the system. We'll be discussing different scenarios as the sessions are getting progress. Okay,
I think,
and
Eraj, just a moment, I'm interrupting in between. Sorry for the interruption. Can you just show
no
the
problem.
participants about the certification materials as well as the dumps?
Yes, Manoj. So here basically guys we do have the dumps also here. Okay, so like we do have SAP one second, these are basically the e-bytes. So we do have just let me show you the dumps first. Okay. Okay, these are the certification dumps, means like these are the questions which are directly coming from the certification exam. So we do have the list of these question answers with us, like certification dumps with us. So these are going to be proper reference for you guys, for those who are willing to appear for the certification. Okay, we do have, because most of the participants are going for, either P2P or sourcing. We do have the dumps for all those, this one, like we do have, somebody is going for the procurement like P2P process. So we do have the list of all these documents very properly directly from SAP. Okay, so these are the documents will be shared with every one of you guys. Okay, so this is a very quick one, and those who wants like to see in detail, you can connect me for the list of certification also. I can help you them out. Okay, yeah, Manoj, uh, shall we take up the question answer sessions here?
Yeah, definitely. And before the question answer session, Iraj, I think, the thing is like over
Mhm.
here, guys, remember one thing, these certification documents, you're not going to get access to. Why? Because this is very hard. And the second thing is like the dumps which you're getting, those are not demo dumps. They have appeared really. Just a moment, just a moment.
Yeah, and one more thing is here, guys, I just forgot to show you one more thing. We do have the SAP Learning Hub videos also. Okay, so these videos are basically directly from SAP online trainings, like those trainings for the certification. We do have the complete list of videos with us for those directly SAP videos. So this is directly from SAP Learning Hub. Okay, this also we can able to share with you guys.
Yeah, and basically, to add to this, Eras, like the dumps which we are showing over here, it's not demo dump. It's not a demo question. It has really came into the certification, and as all of you know, that the certification questions in SAP's certification generally is repeated in the ratio of 60 to 40%. So 60% question generally, which has come earlier, that gets repeated, and 40% questions is generally new over here. So if you learn from that particular dump, that particular thing is going to give a age so that you can clear your certification in the first go only.
Okay, yeah, that really makes sense, Manoj. And I told you, like, all the sessions which you're attending are going to be recorded. The recordings will be provided. There are a lot, many, plenty of documents will be provided to you, and certification material as well as learning hub videos. And apart from this one, we'll be helping you out to get prepare your resume. Also, some of those who want to transit from side to Ariba side, so we'll be personally helping them out for preparing their resume and what kind of interview questions will be coming. So we'll definitely help them out. And some of you, and you see guys, like we are having like participants range from like 25 to 20 to 25 participants in one batch, and we are going to manage it very properly. Okay, and out of these 20 or 25 participants, 40% of the participants are those who are already working in SAP Ariba. Okay, because they are having a lot of gaps, so they want to fill up their gaps. So for that reason only, they'll be attending our sessions. So in short, I can say like the sessions are going to be very interactive. Okay, you'll be getting a lot of knowledge because the participants are around the globe, right from Southeast Asia, even from Australia till Europe and America, also from US. So you'll be getting like a lot of participants whom you can interact with. We are creating a WhatsApp group also after this one. Of in each session we are creating the WhatsApp group. Okay, and these smaller WhatsApp group are going to merge with the bigger one, so you'll have a very good community in SAP Ariba. Yeah, so these are the salient features for this particular training. So now guys, would you please raise your hand so that we can take up every one of your queries, either technical or administrative, whichever it is. You can raise your hands. I'm going to unmute one by one with respect to alphabetical order. Yeah, please raise your hands, guys, those who wants to come up with their queries. Yeah, I'll start with Keshav.
Hi, Manoj and Raj. Kashyap here. Actually, I just wanted to start out. It was a great session, but unfortunately, I actually had to join in the middle of the session. but you had already mentioned that there would be videos available. So just want to make sure that we would get the video of this session as well, because I actually joined for just last 20 minutes.
Yes, of course, you'll be getting the recordings of today's session as well. Not only you, everyone will be getting the session recordings of the day. Yep.
Perfect. All right, great. And just another quick note of it. You had just mentioned that there are other participants who have already worked on Ariba. Me personally, I have worked on the supply chain and procurement part in different systems, and just touched Ariba a little bit in one of my projects. So just wanted to make sure that one in the classes that you would be taking would be starting from a really basic level, not expecting that people would be knowing Ariba to start out with, like, people like me who have been in the supply chain and, procurement industry, but not knowing the system as such. So, it would be from a perspective of, people coming in without knowing the system, and then we go on from there, right?
Kashyap, on this
Yes, you're
part,
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
let me
Manoj,
answer this query over here, Raj. Okay, so Kashyap, basically the thing is like what Iraj meant to say is like we are having different participants from different diverse background, but our session always, if you see today's session also, you will see today's session was also very basic in nature. Although
Right,
we covered some complex architecture things also over here, but it
right,
was in basic things. I think most of you will be able to understand the things. Why? Because see, I also moved from MMSRM to Ariba over there. I also felt the same issue over there. Why? Because
exactly,
everybody is talking about technical things, but
right,
nobody talks in simpler terms or in practical ways, so that everybody can pick it up. So as a what you can say experienced training institute over here who is who are conducting basically training sessions for 1,000 plus participants, you will see our session will always be categorized in basic, then intermediate, then complex. You will see our sessions, each and every session will be be starting with the basic things, then it
perfect,
will go to the intermediate thing, then it will go to complex thing. So by the time the complex thing comes, all of you will be able to cope up with it.
perfect. Yeah, yeah. Just I was just wanted to confirm that. Thank you so much for that answer.
Yeah, welcome, Kashyap.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you,
Eraj,
Kashyap.
can we move to the
Kuldeep?
next participant? Yeah,
Yes, Manoj. Yeah, Kuldeep, can you just proceed? You need to unmute yourself.
Hey, hi Manoj.
yeah. Hello, Kuldeep.
Manoj, when we talk about Ariba, like the first thing which comes in my mind, like as it is like we have got two modules over here. I
Yeah,
can say like it's two part of it, upstream, downstream. So
yeah.
whether we have different consultants in the market for upstream and downstream, or a single consultant takes care of the whole Ariba upstream plus downstream, while
See,
when
generally,
it
Kuldeep over here, see, previously, if you looked at Ariba in 2013 till 16, it was generally like, a different thing. Ariba upstream consultant as well as Ariba downstream consultant was different. But right now in the market, in any market I'm talking about, whether I'm talking about Indian market or, Southeast Asian
Mhm.
countries or Europe or Australia or basically the US also. So everywhere clients are generally asking for whole Ariba knowledge. That means basically both upstream plus downstream and a little bit and on the integration. Basically, at least you should be able to do the integration scenario designing at least. These are the things which most of the company right now, whether it's a the big four or whether only technology consulting or whether it's only a technology company, all of them are demanding this particular skills right now in the market.
Okay, that means I should know upstream, downstream, plus administration as well.
Administration by default is covered over there. I said
Mhm.
integration.
Integration that comes under the administration, or it's a different
No,
thing.
no, 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 no. Administration basically, see, in Ariba, when we are talking about administration, that means by default the configuration aspects. That means like, the template configuration, the mass data load. That means, you will be creating the buyers, then assigning the roles. So this cannot be done manually. You have to do with the help of data loads. So all of these things are generally part of administration, and there's no
Mhm.
basis guys over here. So all these things, activities will be carried out by us only.
All right. And when we talk about the integration, that means we're integrating Ariba with some ECC system or any other system like.
exactly, ECC or
Any
S4 HANA system, at least we should be able to design the scenario. Okay, why? Because if we will see the configuration, mostly the configuration is happening from the ECC or S4 HANA side, in the SPRO side. Okay, in the Ariba side, we will be doing basically the integration endpoint and integration touch point configuration. That is pretty much easy. That we can, that we will show it over there. It will be easy, but at least you should be able to design the scenario. So in our in our sessions, not only that, we will also covering the SPRO configuration in detail.
SPR configuration means we'll be covering the
So
ECC
the
part as well.
Yeah, a little bit on the HCC. Why? Because see, ultimately, you will see there's a RDS solution. Integration is based on the RDS solution over there. It's a standard integration suite. So this particular standard integration suite will involve installation in the ECC or S4 HANA system, and you have to do the configuration from the ECC or S4 HANA system as well as that of SAP Ariba side. So both of these
So
things
why
has to be
only?
done.
But Ariba can be integrated with not only with the like ECC or S/4HANA, but it also can
Hmm.
integrate with third-party solution like
Yeah,
Oracle and some other
definitely.
Salesforce and all that, right?
Yeah.
So how we'll talk about that?
See, on that scenario, you have to use the ITK part over the integration toolkit. So basically, there you will
Mhm.
need the help of Java consultant, because the setting of scheduler and the writing of this program, and then scheduling this program at OS level, all those things are
Mhm.
generally done by Java guys. So they will be writing the
Okay.
code, but we will be providing the logic that okay, this is the URL of your Ariba spend management. This is the shared secret, this is the certificate, all of this information you have to give. So we will also talk about those things, but about that role will be a collaboration work for us between the Java team or the Java
Mhm.
development team, as well as from the client development team. So basically we
So
will
that
be in between. We will be giving them all the functional logic and the other
mhm.
information. They will write the code.
So you mean to say that ITK comes in picture only when we integrate Ariba with
Exactly.
third-party tool,
Exactly. But
right?
previously in 2013-14, see, RDS solution was not there. Okay. So
Mhm.
at that time, ITK was used for both the SAP as well as non-SAP systems over there.
Mhm.
But right now, you will see from 2016, RDS solution is dominant mode for integrating Ariba with SAP ECC or SAP S4HANA system. Why? Because SAP is the owner of Ariba as well as S4 HANA as well as ECC, right? So they came up
Right,
with
right.
this particular solution. This solution is a standard solution, and you don't need to take help of any of the Java developer and all those things right now. So, but if you want to connect with Oracle or any other third-party system, then you have to use ITK. That will entail some development cost for the Java, from the Java development side.
Yeah, right. Now the last query. Uh,
Yeah,
when you explained the cycle, the whole cycle, like source to pay cycle, right?
yeah,
You said that the upstream comes first,
yeah.
then we do the downstream, right? However, in if you go in a normal procurement in any of the system, actually the procurement cycle starts from a purchaser when a request created by a purchaser, then request goes to the purchase department. They
Yeah,
and do the further like quotation and then other
yeah,
things like RFP or RFI, whatever, right?
yeah.
So
Hmm.
here you said that the process will start from upstream. So that is
Exactly.
confusing if the
No, there is no
like
confusion over here, Kuldeep. So
uh,
you have to understand that what particular scenario your client is following and what is the standard scenario which is available in Ariba. So basically, that is why I said whatever we have learned in ECC and SRM over there, we have to unlearn it, and then we have to learn it in terms of Ariba. If you want to learn Ariba, we have to learn Ariba in terms of Ariba. So I will tell you over
that
here.
that I that that I agree with you. That
Yeah.
I agree
So
with you, right?
whenever you
Hmm.
will go for an implementation project, the first thing which
Hmm.
you're going to do is like, see, you will not directly load the APC, Ariba catalogs. You're
Hmm.
going for a fresh implementation. Right now, nothing is present within the Ariba catalogs. So how
Hmm.
you're going to add it? Through a free text item, right? Non-catalog item you have to use. That is a free text item. Free text item means what?
Hmm. Hmm.
It's a new
Hmm.
material on services only. So if you go to
Right.
the PR over there and add a free text item, supplier you have to manually choose. Now, no organization will give you that freedom in which 90% of the PR is being created from free text item.
Obviously.
Why? Because that will be violating their procurement policies over there. So
Right,
that is
right.
why
See, mhm.
you will go with the
It's a, like
sourcing
it's
project first. You will be ascertaining the source of supply. Once it has been done, then the contract will be created. Then this contract will be moved from upstream to downstream. That means through this contract, if you're creating a PR, you don't have to select the
mhm.
supplier. Why? Because that has been already been selected in the sourcing project. So that is why this particular process will always run, and upstream will always come first, then downstream will come.
That I understand, but the problem is, see,
Hmm.
when we talk about the catalog, that is kind of master data. That when we talk about
Yeah,
the supplier, that is kind of master
yeah,
data, right?
yeah,
So that obviously that comes first. Even in any of the
yeah,
system, even in ECC, first we upload the master data, whether it's a vendor
yeah,
master or it's like a supplier master
yeah,
or material master. But
yeah.
the process we start always from downstream. The process, the purchase cycle that start from
Now, yes, yes.
acquisition.
Coming to this thing. Okay,
Mhm.
so here the procurement which you are doing, forget about Ariba time for the time being. Any procurement which you are doing in ECC and SRM, it will be divided into two scenarios, right? The first scenario is for new material and services, and the second scenario is for old material and services. Old material and services means what? For whom you have a source of supply,
Right,
basically
master data
for whom
existing.
you are having a master data is existing. So for the master
Right,
data, what you said is correct. That means if your master data is present within the system, then you will be doing a downstream related activities, correct? But
right, right,
if you go with a greenfield implementation, the first thing which your client is going to say, okay, downstream related thing is there, that we will do it later, but I am going to talk about the new materials and services. So in that
right.
scenario where your new material services is there, S2P will come into the picture. And if you see in a Ariba implementation, 60 to 70% of the process which will run for the first 1 year will always be S2P. That is for new materials and services. Then slowly, what will happen? The cycle which was done for all material and services, this will be moved to the Ariba. It is always, that is why I said it's not a hard go life. It's not a like immediately everything what is running in you will bring it into Ariba over there, or whatever you're running in SRM at one go you will not bring it into Ariba. Step by step you're going to bring. So that is why I said the first thing in the first iteration with the first go live which you're going to work with S2P. Second go live, their small soft go life which will happen over there,
Mm.
there you will see you're working with all materials and services, and there will be nothing to be done in the upstream. Why? Because your material source of supply will be coming from your ECC side, and it will be residing in your master data. So what you will do, you will just run a P2P cycle. Why? Because there will be no contract over there. This will be coming as a part of your Ariba catalog data. So against the Ariba catalogs, you will go, you will choose those internal catalogs or punch out catalogs item, and you will do a P2P cycle. So that is why I said. So first year you have to go with the S2P process. Second year, what will happen? Then only the downstream process will come. Then what will happen? Distinction will happen. That 60% of the time all materials and service will run, 40% of the time new materials and service will run. 60% is only downstream specific in the second year, and 40% of the thing both upstream and downstream will be used. Like this the project will go on.
You're right. So when we'll start learning this, Ariba, what will be your approach? Like we'll start from the upstream or we'll start from the downstream?
We will always start with upstream. Why? Because see, we are talking about implementation project over here right now, and if you're going for implementation, if you don't know this thing, what will happen is like you will try to implement Ariba with respect to ECC and SRM. Now, this is where a lot of faults happen. Why? Because when Ariba will do the audit, or any third party will come over there, like KPMG, ENY, or Deloitte, they will know about these things in Ariba. So they will immediately, red flag this, saying that this thing should be done in the second year after go live. They should not be done in the first year of the go live at the time of go live over there. So that is why the same thing which we are doing currently in the implementation project, same thing we are going to see in our sessions.
All right, that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome, Kuldeep.
Yeah, thank you, Kuldeep. Yeah, Manojit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Manoj, you need to unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, hi, thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Okay, first of all, I would like to thank you to Manoj for showing such a good direction for to the Ariba solutions. And I'm really very much, interested in this particular Ariba solutions training.
Yeah,
Uh, Manoj, I have actually two queries regarding this.
yeah.
First of all, I would like to know that, as you said previously, that
Mhm.
upstream process will be first and the downstream process will be second, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So sorry to say, I'm just breaking something. Your rules. As you said
yeah,
before, that we should, disallow the, SAP ECC.
yeah,
ECC, all the things which we have in our mind, and then
yeah,
we can grab the Ariba. But still,
yeah,
uh, as we know that in SRM we have some
yeah.
kind of a encryption which called as a security, that
Hmm.
no one can see the price quotation,
Acha, acha,
something
acha,
like
acha.
that,
I got it.
right?
BSc, SRM, BSc component, right?
Yes, right.
Okay, so basically you are asking this can this kind of functionality or feature, is it available in SAP Ariba or not?
Yes, right.
No. The thing is like over there, yes, you can have envelopes over there. Envelope can be used over there, okay, and through the usage of envelope, you can almost stop the response to be seen uh, by the all the buyers, almost all the buyers, apart from one guy. But as we know that in Ariba, there is nobody who can access the Ariba database level. Why? Because we will never get access to it. Only Ariba employees do have that particular access. Why? Because in any cloud solution, technical access is generally not provided neither to the implementation partner nor to the functional consultant. That's the first thing. Second thing, through envelopes, yes, you can implement this thing. The only issue which will come is like there will be one super administrator who will be setting up the envelope. That particular guy can see it over there. So I know why you're asking this thing, because I think you have been doing some SRM implementation for the government clients, right?
Right, you're right.
Yeah. So basically they will ask this thing. So basically, yes, for them also you can say use this envelope thing over there. You don't need to use the SRM BSc component over there. Only one guy would be having the access. That is a super admin, and that guy also you can catch. Because if something is happening, it is very easy to point a finger to one guy. But if something is happening for 200 officers, nobody can point a finger at 200 officers, right? So
Right.
that is how we tell all of our basically the government clients that yes, instead of using the encryption decryption over there, use this envelope features over there. Now those people or those consultants who don't know about envelope, they will say go with the ER, that is enhancement request, and Ariba will reject it. Why? Because see, encryption decryption cannot be done at a sourcing project level. It has to be done at the whole Ariba level. So that is why they will say this will change the core of Ariba. So basically in Ariba you will see the clients are generally referred to as tenants. Why?
Okay.
Because it is just like a building. If you build a building over there, suppose
Mm-hmm.
20 floor buildings is there, within there 50 flat is there, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So each of this owner of this flat is called as tenant. So same thing, Ariba is just like a building. The clients who are implementing Ariba over there are basically tenants. So if one tenant come and say to the owner, hey, I don't like the lift, remove the lift, they will say we cannot do it. Why? Because the other 49 tenants over there will not agree to you, and this is a change in the core structure of Ariba over there. But if you want me to put some expensive tiles within your floor of your flat only, that we can do. But anything in the common area, we are not going to do anything. Why? Because this will affect all the tenants over there. So same thing it goes for Ariba over here. If your requirement over here is affecting the Ariba core structure, Ariba will reject it over there. Even if you pay more money to them, they will not accept it. So you have to use the solution wisely. You have to know about the solution. You should have proper knowledge on the software. Then only you can work with it. So here we have to use the envelope concept. So within the envelope, that super admin will put all the response, and that super admin will not open the envelope until and unless that evaluation deadline has been reached over there. So what will happen? The normal buyers will not have access to those responses at all.
Okay.
And
Okay. Thanks.
since you cannot view the database table over here, thanks for the Ariba cloud solutions over there, so nobody can see the data apart from that super administrator. So that is how we generally implement for our government sector clients who want to move from SRM to Ariba over here. This is the solution which we give.
Okay. So, I mean, in respect to your statement, I just have
Ye-
one, I mean, query from the same query as well. That,
Yeah.
I mean, as we know that government client always prefer to the customization part of the SAP. I mean, they are just
Ah,
breaking the vanilla thing.
yeah.
So, is there any, I mean, is there any possibilities in the Ariba itself that they can do the customization here also?
Yeah, definitely. Customization. See, that is what I'm saying over here. That see in Ariba, you will see that just by knowing about the configuration, if you know Ariba in depth, what will happen is like 60% of the customization which your client is asking, it can be done through configuration only. If you know about it or if you have the knowledge about it, the rest of the 40%, out of the 40%, 20% to 30%, till 30%, it can be done through enhancement request. That means through hard code changes that will be done by SAP Ariba engineering team, and 10% is not possible over there. So if we are moving from SRM to basically to Ariba over there, we will see that 90% of the changes, till
Mhm.
85 to 90% of the changes can be done in Ariba over there. 10 to 15% cannot be done. So there we have to negotiate with the client saying, boss, you know, you're comparing on-premise solution with cloud solution. So first of all, yes, I do agree, certain customization has to be done. Then you have to tell your client over there basically to separate out the requirement, which is mandatory, which is wish list. And you will see mandatory will be around 60 to 65%, but we will be delivering around 85% of the changes. So most of the time client are very happy with these things.
Okay. Okay. Okay, my last question it's regarding
Yeah.
the certification purpose.
Yeah.
So if we compare to the, I mean, ACC certification or the S4HANA certification, we know that proper code was there and we can do the certification with this respect to this.
Yeah.
But in Ariba, I mean, I heard, and I'm not 100% sure, that's why I'm asking,
Yeah.
but I heard that there are multiple number of codes are there, I mean, which is actually
Yeah. Yeah.
indicate multiple number of sections. So,
No,
I
no,
mean,
no,
if you
no,
can
no.
just bring
It's
some
not
highlights
like
on
that.
this.
See, as I think Era just shown over there, there are 11 certification exams which is currently available right now. They are having the codes. So I know which guys are basically, talking about this thing. Why? Because they might be referring to the older version of the certification, which is no longer valid over here. See, right now you can see in the screen, this particular codes which you are seeing right now, this is the code which will be used over there. That's the first thing. Second thing, you cannot buy a certification exam from your Ariba, which is on premise, and give Ariba certification over there. So you have to buy a subscription from SAP Ariba for the cloud-based certification only over here. Then what will happen? Then automatically you will know about the code over there. But you should not be buying the on-premise certification exam for that.
Mm, it's not, I mean, I have still a little bit doubt. I mean, then what needs to be done? I mean, from my side, I
See,
need
see, see,
to
see,
first.
first of all, when you are ready for the certification, you need to go to the Ariba system over there in the Ariba, website over here, and there will be two kinds of certification which will be written out over there. That is on-premise solution and cloud solutions over there, cloud certifications. So click on the cloud certification. Then I think you have to pay the money. I think it's in dollar. I think somewhere around, it will be equivalent to INR. It will be around 40 to 45,000. So once you have selected this, then what will happen automatically within the cloud? What are the technology in Ariba? What are the technology within SAP? It will come. You have to select the Ariba solution. Then whichever modules you want to give the certification for, you have to select from there. But don't go to the on-premise certification. That is your only task over here.
So in that, I mean, with respect to your statement that, I mean, if we select the web, I mean, which is which we called 11 or 12, something like that. So
Yeah.
all of them, we need to pay 40,000 for each, or it will be
No, no,
total.
no, no, no. See, 40 or 45,000, which will be there, you will be given 6 certification chances in a single year. So let's say you buy a certificate, Ariba Cloud certification for this year. You will be given 6 attempts till December 31st. That's the first thing. Second thing, you can appear for 6 of the certification if you can clear all of these 6 certification at one go. If you are not able to clear them, maximum 3 times attempts they will give for one certification. Let's say for
Okay.
Ariba P2P you're going. First time you're not clearing, second time you're not clearing, third time you're not clearing. Next year only you can once again go ahead and give this exam. But your 3 attempt is remaining. So those 3 attempts you can give it for Ariba sourcing, Ariba SLP for them.
Okay. And there is no, expiry date for these certifications, right?
See, over here, as of now, Ariba does not suggest expiry date. Why? Because Ariba is a cloud solution over there. So it's a very small changes which will happen over there. But in on-premise solution, what will happen is like there will be new patch, new version, and basically changes of functionality over there. So that is why what will happen over there, you will have a expiry date. But
Okay.
here in Ariba, as of now, there is no version specific thing. So basically, there will be no expiry date as of now. But later on, if they changes the feature, then we cannot say. But as of now, there is no expiry over there.
Okay, okay, and thank you, Manoj. My last, actually, I don't have any questions for regarding the Ariba. Just wanted to ask something about the training to Eraj. Eraj, I mean, if you
Yeah,
can
Manoj.
hear me.
Yeah,
Hello.
I can hear you, Manoj.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Actually,
can hear you,
I
Manoj.
just wanted to know one thing, that if I subscribe myself with this training, then how the training will be conduct with this? Because most of the time, I mean, from Monday to Saturday, I'm actually working in a PSU project in India, in an implementation. So most of the time, I mean, Monday to Saturday, I'll be involved in the client location. So I mean, when I can get the training and how it will be implemented in my life, I mean, I can get much number of
Yes.
knowledge from it.
Yeah, I got it. Basically, you see the training we are conducting, keeping in the mind like it's going to be only on the weekend.
Okay, weekends or only in the Sunday?
Yeah. Sorry for that. This is going to be only on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, Saturday 3 hours and Sunday 3 hours.
Okay, so then I mean Saturday class will be missed from my side.
Saturday evening is going to be 7 p.m. IST to 10 p.m. IST on Saturday and 7 p.m. IST to 10 p.m. IST on Sunday. Okay. And if at all, like if you are missing any of the sessions, we can include you in the morning sessions also. That's going to be 7:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. IST. Basically, you see, we are running 3 batches for SAP Ariba training. Okay. One is morning weekend IST, and evening weekend IST, and another is the weekdays weekend weekdays IST. That's going to be Monday to Thursday. So that is going to be 8:30 to 10:30. Okay, so these are the timings. If at all you are missing any of the class, you can see the recordings, you can go through the recordings, or else like you still want to repeat any of the missed sessions, you can be a part of any of these batches depending upon your convenience.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Viraj.
Yeah, you're most welcome, sir. Okay, we go to the next participant, Maram. Maram, you need to unmute yourself, please.
I think I think Sridhar is offline over here.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, Manoj. Hi, Airaj. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I was traveling, so maybe I could have missed the in between discussions. So I just wanted to know, like, for the weekday batches, in how many days the session will get completed? The complete course will get completed if I join weekday batch.
Weekday batch, recently only we have started 1 week batch. Usually weekday batch will take like approximately 1 month.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
And will
1 month.
get server access for the whole 1 month only, or even beyond that? How it is going to be for the practice?
A couple of weeks here and there we can adjust. That's not an issue. But during the whole 1 month, definitely you'll be getting the access.
Okay, all right. And just the last question, like you've already explained about the integration portion. So can we do hands-on practice even for the integration, or that will be only
No,
through
no,
the
no, no, no,
sessions?
no.
Okay.
So that is that is not possible. Why? Because see, we will be
Mm-hmm.
having a document. That particular
Mm-hmm.
document I have prepared from my experience. It's not a standard document with all the screenshots with all the integration options over there. But we don't have a ECC system as of now, right, with us. We only have the SAP Ariba system. So from the SAP
Okay.
Ariba system, we will show you what are the configuration which you need to do for integration. But from
Mm-hmm.
ECC or S4 HANA side related things, we have a document over there. Within that document, we will open up and we have all the screenshots. See, right now you can see over here, we have
Okay.
each and every configuration options which is available over there. So we will be telling each and every point at how you can do those settings over there. It has been
Oh,
customly prepared by us.
okay. All right. Got it. Sure. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, welcome, Mayank.
Yeah. We move on to the next part. Narasimha. Narasimha, you need to unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, thank you, Harish. And yeah, this question is to Manoj. Hi, Manoj. Thank you for the session. It's very nice.
Yeah, yeah, welcome, Narasimha.
Basically, I'm from yeah. Basically, I'm from SAP background, ABAP background.
Yeah.
So actually, I'm not sure on my question, like whether it's right or wrong. I heard that we have Ariba technical and functional. Do you have any?
Acha, 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 acha. I got it. I got your question over here, Narasimha. So basically, previous to 2010, Ariba used to work with Ariba on-premise solutions over there. So right now, Ariba on-premise solution is obsolete. So there was no functional consultant who was available over there. There was only Java consultant or CXML consultant over there who will do this coding. So if you want to go and work in Ariba on-premise, which is obsolete right now, so you can work over there as a technical consultant. But I will suggest don't go. Why? Because there won't be any project at all. Why? Because
Okay,
almost 90% of the customers who are using Ariba on-premise, they have migrated to Ariba cloud solution. Only 10% is remaining within the next 1 year or maximum by 1.5 year. This 10% is also going to move from Ariba on-premise to cloud. So you need to go ahead and work in Ariba Cloud Solutions. That is the first thing. In Ariba Cloud Solution, there is no technical position, only Ariba functional consulting position is there. That's the first thing. Second thing, if you're
okay,
coming from ABAP background, so first of all,
yeah.
you need to understand that whether you're having knowledge in the procurement background or not. I'm not saying about MM. I'm not
Yeah.
saying about
I
SRS.
have that knowledge actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
was working
basically,
on procurement. Yeah.
yeah, so basically the thing is like why we are saying this thing, because we always believe that uh, we generally don't take advantage of the participants over here in any way. We are very upfront and straightforward over here. Same thing you will get the same answer from Era, same answer you will get it from me, that the first thing, the prerequisite for doing this doing this session is like you should have a domain knowledge of procurement. That means when we are going to talk about RFQ, RFP, PR, PO, all those things, invoice, you should know what are these things. Yes, from there on, if
Yeah.
you know the basic things, then yes, from there on we can take it out, and in a very simpler way we can make you understand all of these things. But this basic knowledge you should be possessing. If you're not having this knowledge, then we are not afraid to say that sorry, this session is not for those participants. So this particular thing you have
Oh,
to be very very careful, that if you're having knowledge in this basic thing like what is a PR, what is a PO, what is the invoice, then only you should come and join our session.
okay. Yeah, I understand, Manoj. Thank you. And one more thing, actually, the server access. So if I take weekend batch, so
Yeah.
it will be for only weekend or
No.
even for the yeah.
See, the server access over here, it does not matter whether you're in weekend batch or in weekdays batch. It will be 24 into 7 access for the whole duration of the training.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you, Manoj. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome, Narasimha.
Yeah, thank you so much. Sandeep, can you just unmute yourself, please?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Sandeep.
Yeah. Thank you for arranging this and thank you for giving me that opportunity. I just would like to ask a couple of small questions. In the
Yes.
Ariba upstream as well as downstream, in upstream in terms of in specific contracts, and in downstream in specific about PO. In that,
Yeah.
I would like to understand the delegation of authority, how it works behind that, in sourcing of a category manager from this contracts perspective and the PO perspective, approval perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically on this part, Sandeep, you will see delegation authority over here generally is basically a employee self services in SAP Ariba. That means when you will log in as a buyer in the
Mm-hmm.
Ariba buyer portal or Ariba spend management portal, if you just
Mm-hmm.
click on your user ID, see it will be coming at the top right hand side. There you will be
Yes.
getting an option called as delegate authority. So
Mm-hmm.
once you click on the delegate authority, so you can select to which user basically you can delegate your workflow items, including
Mm-hmm.
to and from. Once you give this thing, then what will happen? A approval will get triggered. Your supervisor will be coming, and basically your administrator will be coming over there. Both of them has to approve. Then what will
Mm-hmm.
happen during the set time, that is to and from, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and the ID to whom you have given this option, what will happen? All your workflow item will be triggered to that particular user ID. That's the first way of doing this thing. Now the second thing is, like, you might ask that, Manoj, let's say I'm going for vacation,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and I have went into vacation. Now I remember that I have to do this thing, and you don't
Mm-hmm.
have internet access. So what you can do,
Mm-hmm.
there also basically the Ariba functional consultant can help you, because they will be having the administrative role. Within the administrative role, you can use the delegate authority. So basically, as a functional consultant, you can also give the delegate authority within the code administrator user manager. There the
Mm-hmm.
delegate authorization is given. As a administrator, you can add those things. So in both the way it can be done.
Okay, thanks for that. But I would like to reframe again my question.
Yeah.
I was trying to ask if I'm creating a contract with $50 million or I'm creating a PR with $50 million. So
Mhm.
how it delegate? I mean, there is a delegation of a given as per the different
Acha, acha. So
business
basically you are saying
approvals.
that where you will do the approval configuration, right?
Yeah,
How the approval
yeah.
workflow configuration will be done.
Yes.
So
That's my question. Yeah.
so okay, so in this part, Sandeep, so basically in the contracts, see, you will be doing this configuration within the contract templates. So when you will go to the contract template, you can create a custom template over there from the standard template, and there will be a task which is called as final contract approval over there. So you have to go within that task, and there you can set different approvers. And if you want specific condition based on price and other things, so that also you can add within the approval task with the help of conditions. But this can only be done with the help of contract templates only. And in template,
Okay.
approval is generally a task-based configuration which you have to do. Now coming back to the downstream, that is PO or PR which you're asking over there. So these things can be done with the help of downstream approval workflow configuration. So it will be available not as a part of template. Why? Because template does not exist in downstream. You have to go to the
Yes.
manage approval processes. There you have to select what is the transactional document type. So see, for PR it will be requisition. Select the requisition, create your own template, approval workflow over there. Then you design how many levels are there. For each level you will be, giving a condition. Let's say prices between, 10,000 USD to somewhere around 100,000 USD. This is for the level 1. Level 2 will be from, more than 100,000 USD till, 1 million. Like this you can give different condition, and you can do your basically the approval configuration in downstream.
Thank you so much for that. I have another question regarding
Yeah.
just a minute. Yes, regarding the catalogs creation, like punch out and non-punch out catalog, which is
Mm.
already onboarded with Ariba, and those who are, I may be wrong here because the environment I work, I have felt a kind of different nature of business that
Yeah.
business has introduced. Like, for an example, HP. The HP, hey, we have been working on Ariba along with HP was my another vendor, which I have to raise a purchase requisitions through Ariba. But what they
Mhm.
have done, they have introduced a business-to-business portal with
Mhm.
consolidated items that we have been contracted with HP
Mhm.
and with
Mhm.
stipulated prices. They have given in the catalog only. So we have to go back and give that material number to that specific purchase requisition. Then the material get pulled out with the
Yeah,
price and other things that tax in every part, and it will get to
yeah.
it. So how it is different from Ariba onboarding, sorry, catalog vendor as a non-catalog punch out vendor?
Okay, so
What is the
basically over
difference?
here, I think the organization where you're talking about of this Ariba solution, they have basically done a customization. Why? Because in Ariba side there will be two catalogs, internal catalogs and punch out catalogs. So in the
Yes,
punch
yes.
out catalogs, what will happen is like all the information, basic information will be there within your Ariba. Ultimately, once you select this thing, option will come as buy from supplier. Once you click on buy from supplier, automatically it will take you to that
The suppliers
item
portal.
page where within the
Yes,
suppliers portal over there, you
yes,
will
yes,
add
yes.
how many quantity over there, select it, add to Ariba cart, then go back to Ariba. Once you click on go back to Ariba, it will come back to the PR screen, basically your purchase
Yes.
equation screen. So this is how a punch out catalog works out over there. So basically, but you were saying that the material number has to be given over there. So in the background, what will happen? All the information will be pulled up from your vendor over there. So I think this is a customization, basically a enhancement request which your client or basically your company has raised over there. So that is why it is happening in the background. But in the foreground, with punch out catalog, this will always work like the way I have told over there.
Okay, so I don't feel any difference in between that because raising
No,
a
no, no.
purchase requisition.
Difference will be there. See, difference will be there. See, why I am saying this thing, because ultimately you have to go to the supplier portal over there. You're not
Yes.
giving anything over there. You're just selecting the item, the quantity, and then coming back to Ariba over there. But in your process, what you're doing, basically you're giving the material number and then
Mm-hmm.
selecting the data. In the background, the data is getting pulled over there. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
So
yes.
this thing is not part of the standard over there. So I
Okay.
think, like, I think the Ariba functional consultant were not able to convince the client over here that, see, this particular kind of requirement does not add any, what you can say, uh, added functionality over there. So here, as a Ariba functional consultant, you have to say to the client that, see, enhancement request is chargeable to the client. So if you're spending money, spend well. where
Okay.
where you will get some functional benefit, or
Mm-hmm.
business benefit out of the process over there. So that is what I will do always. See, client will have a number of enhancement requests. So what is my duty over here? I have to say them that whenever you're getting a functional leverage or functional advantage over there, or business benefit over there, then only you should do a ER. Rest of the time, let me try to do a small bit of configuration and configure the standard process a little bit, so that it can be almost as per your liking, it can be done. But where it cannot be done, it is your wish list. Because see, as a human also, you will be having a lot of wish list. If I have a Ferrari car, if I have a helicopter with me, see, it will be never ending thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
then we
yeah,
have to
yeah.
ascertain which is a must and which is you want over there. So same thing for the client also. I will suggest,
Mm-hmm.
if you're going for a ER for what you want, then it's a wastage of money. It should be what I need the most. For this only, you should go with ahead with the ER.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for your explanation.
Yeah,
Deepak.
welcome, Sandeep.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sandeep. Okay, Saurabh,
Thank you.
Saurabh, you need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi Raj, hi Manoj.
Yeah, hi
Yeah, hello,
Saurabh.
Saurabh.
Hi. So actually, I am supporting the Ariba team here. Yeah. So earlier, I have knowledge of the PR and PO. So
Hmm.
where I am creating the PRs and the POs for the users as well. Yeah. So once
Yeah.
this SAP Ariba has been implemented, so I am doing the same functionality that if anyone is facing the issue in the PR, then I will try
Hmm.
to find out the error and give it the solution. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
regarding the implementation and the integration part, where I am
Yeah.
lacking behind right. Yeah, because I don't have the proper knowledge that from where it has been started. Yeah, from the
Yeah.
scrap, if you can say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in this implementations, that how many implementations we can cover and what are the benefits I will get for all of these?
See, first of all, over here, Saurav, basically, as I said, it's a practical sessions. Basically,
Yes.
I will not only say about the Ariba things. See, I will be telling you what are the different things which is available in Ariba, but in all the configuration sessions, you will see it won't be like normal session. Normal session with a normal trainer, how they will do it? They will say that these are the these are the option which is available. That's it. But here
Mhm.
in each of this configuration session, you will see that whatever experience I had doing this
Mhm.
client's requirement, or basically these 6 projects where I worked on. So there I will say to you that this was the requirement which came from the clients.
Okay.
So this kind of scenario you're going to see how you can
Mhm.
configure those scenarios over there. Then I will show you the configuration over there by giving the solution. So basically, after attending this session, not only you know about the Ariba flow as well as from the Ariba configuration, but you understand what are the different kind of requirements which you get from the client and how to implement them within the system. So you can directly go into a project and in an implementation project and you can start working. So that is why with very much confidence we can say that yes, you can work. Why? Because our teaching methodology as well as each of the session you will see is radically different from our competitors.
Right. Okay. So regarding the implementation, if I talk again, yeah.
Yeah.
So implementation, you means to say that how the supply has been set up, what are the approvals workflow will set up. So all these
Exactly,
parts, I
exactly.
think,
So
right?
it will be like, see, different company will give you different approval workflow. Some will give you static
Right.
approval workflow where the
Hmm.
approver will be static for each level. In some of the complex project, you will get dynamic approval level. There will be one level, multiple approval will be given over there. Conditions will be given. Based on the condition, only one approver will be selected. So this kind
Hmm.
of complex requirement, how you are going to design the solution for that as well as configure the solution. So those things we are going to see one by one. So this is just one example which I have seen, but
Right.
you will see in our all the configuration sessions there are a lot of scenarios which will be there. I will be talking about those scenarios, then in the
Mhm.
system I will give you the solution and I will show you how to do it over there.
Yeah. So regarding the integration part, if I will come, actually I am from the
Yeah,
MBA background. Yeah. So I don't
yeah,
have a technical knowledge, if you can say.
definitely.
So
See, definitely what I believe over here is like uh sort of that
yeah.
all of us over here, we are functional consultant. We are
Yes.
least bothered about the technical knowledge. Why? Because we should not be knowing technically. So you will see the certificate. That is why you see in the integration what I told the first time, it's not about configuration. Why?
Mhm.
Configuration means basically you will see from the ECC side who will do these configurations. Mostly
That,
the basis guys you will be seeing.
yeah.
Most of the transaction code over there where you will be doing the configuration, those are basis transaction codes, not ours.
Mhm.
So what is
Right.
our role over there? Our role over here is that we can guide them. Why? Because they don't know about anything about Ariba. So we have to guide
Right.
them about the process. We have to guide them about the information which they need from us, and we have to guide them on the functional logic. So once we give this information and guide them over there, they will do the configuration. So that is how we should approach the integration session. So that is how we approach over here. Why? Because see, here you won't have any technical access, so you cannot
Yes.
talk anything on the technical things as all as well. So that is why each of the things which we are going to see over here will be from a functional viewpoint. Why? Because ultimately we are all Ariba functional consultant.
Right. So regarding the course duration, yeah, if I'll join on the weekends batches,
Yeah.
so I think it will take maximum 2 months.
Yeah, so it generally, I will say over there, the course duration in such a way that generally it will be around 13 sessions. 12 to 13 session, it will be like that. 12 to 13
Okay.
session means basically 6.5 weeks over there. So
Right.
each day on Saturday and Sunday, we are going to take a 3 hour session, but that is
Mhm.
official. Unofficially, you will
Okay.
see
Yeah, yeah,
7 p.m.
again.
to 10 p.m. IST it is there, but you will see that sometimes that is getting stretched to 11 p.m. IST.
Mm-hmm.
So it will 3 hour session will easily stretch to 3.5, sometimes 4 hours. Why? Because we will not only show you the contents, because
Mm-hmm.
the process flow, configuration, all of those things we are going to cover. We will never shy away from the questions. You will
Right.
see that we encourage questions from our participants. So if the question is more from the participants, sometimes we have to stretch our sessions. So that we do over there gladly, so that you don't miss the things which we are going to show in our session, as well as your questions get answered over there.
Right. Because in this session, I think we need to do more practice than we will, get
Yeah.
more
So
hands.
see, the thing is like sort of See, that is why I
Yeah.
said today is the first session and today is the last session where I'm opening a PPT and showing this thing. From
Right.
tomorrow onwards, you will be seeing everything is happening in the system only.
Mhm. Okay. So we'll get that session on the this one, Ariba as well for the practice and all.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's something good from
Yeah,
my side. Yeah. Thanks a lot for your
yeah. Thank you,
very
sir.
questions.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Welcome,
much.
Saurav.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sarab. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, we want to Sneha. Hello.
Hello,
Yes, Sneha.
can you hear me?
Yes, Neha, we are
Yes,
able to
yes.
hear you.
Hi Manoj and hi Arash. It's a good session. I want to know, I'm not from a technical background,
Yeah. So,
but
Sneha, we are just going to ask you before you say something more over here. We are just going to ask a small thing that you know about the procurement background. You are having some background in procurement, either domain knowledge or anything.
I have a domain knowledge means how procurement goes, but
Yeah.
I'm not aware of means uh, zero knowledge on technical background. How does it
Okay.
work?
So basically over here, Sneha, that means like if I'm saying PR, if I'm saying PO, if I'm saying RFQ, if I'm saying P2P, does this term does all this term is familiar to you?
Yeah,
Okay. So basically you are saying that you are not a technical, but you are having a background knowledge in procurement.
yeah.
And what about your SAP knowledge?
Actually, I currently work in SAP Ariba, but I work for a Spendwest team in Bangalore.
Yeah.
But I want to move to the say SAP
Okay, okay,
upstream and
okay.
downstream.
So for that there is no issue. For that there is no issue. So yes, there there are participants who are generally coming even from SAP Ariba. So I think you're not the first one who is coming from SAP Ariba from the spend visibility team. Even from the catalogs loading team and sometimes from the
I
engineering
know.
background, they are also still coming for our session over here. Yes,
Okay.
we do take our session, and then in this scenario there is no issue. Actually, that is why we have asked this thing, that whether you're having this procurement domain knowledge. Yes, you are having this, you're itself working in the spend visibility thing. So yes, if you want to come to the both Ariba upstream and downstream thing, then this is very much important for you. You can attend this session, but and this is not only for you, Sneha, that it is important. It is, it should be for all the participants, that all of you have to work hard along with us. See, we will be working hard over here. All of you
Mm.
should be working hard during these sessions. Then only it will add value to your career. Otherwise what will happen is, like, the thing is, like, you have to work hard, you have to watch this recording multiple times. Once our session ends, why? Because you will be getting the recordings. Come back with your query, ask me more, try to understand it. If you're having issues in between, ask me more queries, no issues on that part. But you have to do this stuff, then only this will add value to all of you over here.
Okay. As per your saying is like technical, if it is technical knowledge is not there also, it's fine to go with this.
Yeah, definitely. Because see, ultimately, see, who are the technical? Basically, I think you will be knowing the technical people are basically the
Yeah,
Java
I know.
developer or CXML developer. They are the engineering team, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So ultimately, we will not have access for that particular thing which the engineering team is
Uh,
having.
Even I'm from Ariba, I don't have no access for all the sites.
Yeah, they will be having access for service manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we will not have the access for service manager. So I think in
Okay.
that scenario you don't need to go ahead with technical. Why? Because there's no technical
Mm.
things which is involved over here. Each and everything over here is
Mm-hmm.
functional based. So you should
Okay.
focus on the functional things only.
Mm-hmm. Fine, fine. Okay.
Okay.
Nah, that's it from my side because all the people had their own questions and
Yeah.
all they cleared me well.
Yeah. So basically,
Okay.
see, the thing is, like, over here in our session, we are having participants from diverse background. So
Okay.
we generally keep our session very easy. Okay.
Hmm.
Then we move on to the intermediate stages so that each of you can grasp the things. Then when we will move to the complex thing, it won't be like, Manoj, what you're saying, it is going over the head. Why? Because it will be a step by step thing which will be moving so that each and every participants over here can understand. So on
Okay.
this part, Sneha, you don't have to think about the technical things and all those stuff. If you want to
Okay.
move from one section of Ariba and you want to move to the upstream and downstream over there, then I think this is
Oh,
the right place for here.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you, Manoj. Thank you so much.
yeah. Welcome, Sneha.
Somnath, we are having a couple of more, like 2 or 3 more participants. Then after that, we can discuss.
Hi, Rajan Manoj. Can you hear me properly?
Yeah, Somnath, we are able to hear you.
Thanks. It has been a very good session so far, and thanks for this. My query is mainly to Manoj from more of a implementation methodology and the timeline perspective
Yeah,
related to, as you mentioned, that the downstream and upstream, it doesn't go for a big bang. Probably it's more of agile methodology, and uh, it first goes upstream and then
yeah,
the downstream part. So from a project timeline and let's say a planning perspective, is it
yeah.
there a technical constraint, or it's more of a SI partner methodology that we are adhering to?
See, first of all, over here, Somnath, I will say that you are correct over here. We will generally follow the agile methodology over here. Why? Because we don't have a hard go live over here. We are having a soft go live over here. That's the first thing. Second thing, if you're looking at the timelines, it's not a big issue over here, because ultimately, see, the timelines is not only dependent on the agile methodology. Timelines are basically determined on how much data you have to transport. Okay, how much configuration you have to do over here. Okay, what is the scope in the configurations. Okay, similarly, what is the scope in the integration, that depends on the things. So basically, if you are looking for just upstream implementation with normal setup, it should be around 4 to 5 months. But if your client is saying they are very following typical procedures, and it's a complex setup, multiple geographic locations are involved in that, so that can stretch to even 9 10 months, depending upon how many geographical locations is there. Similarly, if you're looking only for downstream, normal with one geographical location, it will be taking 7 months. But if you are going to say that, okay, 10 geographical location with full downstream customization and something like there, it might again go to 1 year. Upstream and downstream with normal scenario, generally it is 1 year plus. Okay, and if it is a very complex project for upstream and downstream, so what we will do is like, we will never go with the hard go live. First, what we will do is like, we will go ahead with the upstream. Once upstream is implemented, then we will start with the support. And once upstream stabilizes, then we will go ahead with the downstream. Once downstream is implemented, then let it stabilize, then the normal support phase will begin. So this is how generally we do the configuration. So it depends upon the complexity, it depends upon the geographical location. Depending upon that, we will break up the implementation over there.
Thanks for that. But in terms of the business process, right, the
Yeah,
end-to-end process, uh,
yeah,
you don't think like then it has to follow a different set? Like when we say it's only upstream and the, let's say, the downstream mirror image of that is on a S/4HANA or a ECC based
yeah,
thing, while they are actually not having the downstream. So a set of business process has to be followed, integrated with the functional solution. So
yeah,
as we move on after the upstream support and then migrate to a downstream, once again the
yeah.
process is now changing. So does clients, based on your experience, does they follow that kind of
No,
means
no, no. So you see,
mindset and their timelines as well?
client will generally not follow up with the mindset. So here, as a consultant, see, that is why I'm saying that as a functional consultant, working on Ariba is 70% thing, and 30% is pure consulting skill over there. So you have to convince the client over there. So basically, client will say it does not matter to me how you do it. But when you're doing the implementation, so here with only upstream, now let's say you're going ahead with downstream implementation, you have to see that the currently pre-existing data in production, which is for upstream, that you have to segregate. Then you're going ahead with downstream. Now see, you are linking both the upstream as downstream as well. It's not only a downstream go live, it's a integrated go live for both upstream and downstream. So you have to make sure that whatever the data is present in the Ariba upstream, that is not getting affected by the changes which you're moving with the integration over there. Sorry, or basically the downstream over here. So in our session, so whenever we will be going into the integration, you will see we will be pointing to those facts that whenever you are doing only upstream implementation, then you're going with downstream implementation, and then both you are doing, there are some certain scenarios which will be, uh, in collision part. So you have to be very very careful. You have to move this data at this time. This data should be put through a filter position, and then you have to filter the data, then you have to set it up over there so that it does not collide with your pre-existing data. All of these things, we as a Ariba functional consultant, we have to keep in our mind. The client will never
Thanks for
fall
that.
into this, in this complex scenario. Why? Because they will say, hey, we have totally outsourced the work as a part of SI, system integration partner over there. So it is a part of, SI, Ariba functional consultant. It's not our part. Okay,
Right.
so they
I
will
was
give the
mainly
requirement.
trying to correlate. Yeah, I was mainly trying to correlate from my delivery planning and pre-sales perspective. But anyway, it looks like it pure a consulting game, which needs to be played here, as you correctly mentioned.
Yeah, so
Thanks,
yes,
thanks for
definitely,
that.
definitely
Yeah,
over here. So, Somnath, see, the thing is like Ariba pre-sales and Ariba delivery is, there's a huge difference. See, if you're working in ECC or S4 HANA on SAP delivery, same thing goes for SAP pre-sales. That means like almost it is the same thing. Okay, some people might say, okay, SAP pre-sales guys who are doing, they might not know how to do a complex project implementation, but it is not hard for them to do it. But in Ariba, basically the guys who are working in pre-sales over there, if you ask them to go ahead with a complex project, so it will be very tough for them. Why? Because they have to work on that kind of project. So that is why in Ariba, see, the delivery part and the pre-sales part is quite different over there.
that's okay. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, welcome, Somnath.
Yeah. We do have next participant, the last. Zilan. Zilan, you're waiting for so long. Yeah, please go ahead. Zilan, are you there? Manoj, can you hear me?
Yeah, Raj, we are able to hear you. I think there is some
Zilan,
problem
if
with
you want to
Zilan's mic over there.
Oh, okay. Then you can type the same query in the chat window, Zilan. Okay, we have Shiv Kumar. Shiva Kumar?
Yeah, Shivakumar here. Hello.
Yes, Shivakumar.
Yeah, hi. Manoj, this session was really good. Thank you for the session. So
Yeah,
basically,
thank you.
I'm an MM consultant and worked on ECC and S4 HANA, and haven't worked on SRM or Ariba yet. So this is both are completely new. So I just want to know
Okay.
if I could able to fit into this.
See, in this part, I think there won't be any issue for you, Shivakumar. But
Okay.
basically, it will depend upon your, basically what thing? Basically your passion for learning. So
Okay.
we are putting in a lot of effort over here, and the
Okay.
same thing you have to put over there. So once you put this thing, then only this particular training is going to help you. See, definitely
Okay.
for all the consultant, they have to move to Ariba over here. Why? Because ultimately, see, if you look at S4 HANA over there,
Mm.
and if you compare the ECC, excuse me, and if you compare the ECC module, there's no much difference over there. But what is the next logical conclusion then? Then you have to move to Ariba over there. So anyhow, you have to do that particular stuff sooner or later. But I think right now the market situation is very good, and there is no competition in the market right now for the Ariba job. So yes, you can move to Ariba right now. Later on, there will be competition. Maybe 2 years down the line, Ariba will be having a competition in the job market at that time. But right now, I think this is a good time to move from to Ariba over there. But it all depends upon your passion. That means you have to do hardware along with us. Then only this training will help you over there.
Okay, and so if, as I understand, the subject knowledge of Ariba and a couple of certifications related to that would enable to move from SAP S4 HANA or ECC to towards Ariba in that line, right?
No, see, the thing is like you don't need to have any pre-existing knowledge over there. See, our session over there, it will begin from scratch. That means from the
Okay,
basic. Then it will build
okay,
up the things, and then it will move up the complexity. So by the session ends, that means this whole batch sessions ends over there, you will be having complete knowledge. But
Okay.
within these particular sessions, you also have to do the work. Like, you have to watch this recording multiple times of the sessions. Okay, come up
Understand.
with the question and you have to ask me. You have to practice in the systems one by one, but don't immediately go into the system. That means today's session has ended. Tomorrow morning, what will you do? You will go to the system. Why? Because then you will not understand the things. You have to watch this recording multiple times. Once you watch this recording, you will be having some question. Ask me those questions next week. Once you get a clarification on this particular process, you're confident enough, then go to the system and practice. This will help you a lot over there. So as per our session over here, even if you don't know what is Ariba, does not matter. Why? Because our session will be beginning from the scratch.
Got it. And
And to add,
how about the
to add
schedule
one
for
more,
the daily, weekdays batches? What will be the time schedule?
timings are going to be 7 p.m. IST to 7 p.m. 7 in the evening to 10 at night, like 7 p.m. IST to 10 p.m. IST. Okay, and to add more thing, like certification is the secondary part, guys. Okay, so don't means like initially no need to concentrate more on the certification, because nobody is asking whether you are certified or not. So even a person who is certified also attending the interview, and a person who is not certified but he is having more knowledge, okay, definitely the preference is going to be the person who is having more knowledge. So certification is a secondary thing, so concentrate more on the subject, try to gain more knowledge, so that's really going to be helpful. Okay, and regarding the sessions, yes, it's 7 p.m. IST to 10 p.m. IST
This is for
for this
weekdays.
particular,
No,
yeah,
no, this is for the weekends.
for weekend, Saturday and
Sorry.
Sunday only. And
Okay.
tomorrow we are
And
doing the session also. Tomorrow is the first session, so I really urge everyone, I request everyone to attend tomorrow's session also. Okay, and you can make the decision if you want it. Okay, tomorrow is the first practical session. I request every one of you to be there in tomorrow's session also, because with the same link, like the link is been sent to all of you, right? The session one and the demo session and the session one. So session one also is worth attending it. So we are starting tomorrow with SLP process, so you can have it. Yeah. It's going to be only on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 7 to 10 p.m.
Airaj, I actually intend to take this. You have the weekdays sessions as well, right? Or is it?
Weekday
Or
session just now started. Like we have finished approximately 1.5 week for that. Okay,
oh, is
I
it?
think
Okay.
like 6 sessions has been already done. Okay,
Hmm.
still you are
Okay.
very much interested, you can attend simultaneously, you can catch up and you can continue with the weekday session. That also is possible.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. We have some questions from Venkat. Can you just unmute yourself and go ahead, please, Venkat?
Hello.
Yeah, Venkat.
Hello.
Go,
Yeah.
go.
Hi, Manoj and Viraj. It is very good section for me. Basically, because I'm a totally domain background person from the materials management. I think Manoj, when you are explaining about the business commerce applications and all, the
Yeah,
terminologies and all are very familiar, but I mean, words are something different. I mean, like, for example, if you say supplier on board and all,
yeah,
that would really not be there for me actually. Why? Because I worked in the construction background, like as you said in the explanation of this section,
yeah.
I wrote like computers and all. I used to purchase some cables and all, etc., etc. The terminologies are different. That's it.
Yeah, no, no. Actually, on here, Venkat, I will say, see,
Yeah,
this was a demo overview session. Yes,
yeah,
terminology, it might be sounding different over here, but when you will come to the session, you will see the architecture of SAP Ariba is quite different. Even you will see the configuration which we do in SAP it is very, very different from SAP Ariba over there. Similarly, the technology base, the architecture of this whole Ariba system are very, very different from ECC over there. So just by looking at the solution, if you look at the screen, you will see that almost 70% is similar, but what is running behind the screen, how the configuration is happening there, if you compare solution or SM solution with Ariba, you will see only 40% or 30% common things are there. Rest of the all the things are very much different over there. And
yeah. So, sorry
there
to
you will
interrupt
see,
you. Yeah,
yeah, and there you will see one thing, Venkat, it's like, this is advantages to our position. Why? Because as a Ariba functional guy, we would be able to do the things in Ariba which you want to do it in MM or SRM. You have to take help of, take help of Evapor. So lot of
Yeah.
things which previously we used to take help of Evapor to do it over there in ECC and SRM, the things in Ariba we can do it over here just by ourselves by configuring this thing. So that is why I'm saying the approach, the the architecture of Ariba is very very different from MM.
Sorry to interrupt you. Like, I just maybe some small communication gap has happened. What I mean to say is, like, I do not have any SAP background on MM or
Yeah,
SEM.
yeah,
Actual core domain knowledge, like in the sense core, procurement knowledge I had. I did not have an
yeah,
experience in SAP MM or SAP SRM. Like
yeah.
my terminologies usually, I'll start with my purchase requisition I'll be getting from my technical team. I'll see accordingly that, and I'll be raising a purchase requisition to the supplier. The supplier will float the quotations, and based on that I'll prepare the CSQs, comparison statements, and who stands the lowest price as per my zero pricing. Based on that I'll be placing the purchase order, and later on I'll get the invoices, and I'll forward it to my finance team, and I'll be getting the payment through the finance team to the supplier. That way the process, normal process goes on. uh,
Yeah.
yeah, if I see the process of, like, I think, as the SAP MM or Ariba, the same, like supplier onboarding, or what you're speaking about, this price capturing, or like categorizing the contract cataloggy you're saying, right? In that, like, I had some questions, like, for example, I had two different customers who supplies me to my company two different n number of different items. Okay. Maybe the item is different, but and the supply is different. In that, how can I, as if I say, I'm a one new company, I want to download, I mean, like, I
See,
want to have
first of all, over here, Venkat, see, you have to
yeah.
understand. So basically, suppliers have generally the punch out catalogs. So
Okay.
the theory, or basically the scenario which you're asking is like there are two buying organization who has
uh,
implemented Ariba,
uh,
procuring same material from the same supplier. In that scenario, what will happen? So always remember, in Ariba, buying organization data are always specific to buying organization. That means supplier might be giving them the same product over there, but their data will never mix around each other. That means, let's say Deloitte is one of the buying organization who have implemented Ariba. Accenture is also one of the buying organization who have implemented Ariba. So
uh,
Deloitte specific data will be seen by the supplier, but Deloitte won't be able to see Accenture specific data over there.
uh,
Similarly,
sorry to, uh, sorry to interrupt you. That is not the question. I think this is a communication gap. What I'm saying,
yeah,
for example, Deloitte is there. Deloitte
yeah,
has two different suppliers. I
yeah.
mean, like, two different suppliers. That
Mhm.
a supplier is supplying about computers and
Yeah,
accessories and computer
Mhm.
something related. Means
Yeah,
three different items. Okay.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
Accenture, like, again, Deloitte, and the Accenture has also supplying other three different things, right?
No, no, no.
If
See,
we,
first of all, see,
yeah,
Accenture, Deloitte are buying organization. They will
yeah,
never supply goods and services. Why? Because they are, basically buying organization. They will
no, no,
take the delivery of goods and services over here.
yeah, sorry to interrupt you. That I'm saying about the supplier, from the supplier point of view.
Hmm.
From the supplier point of view, the A supplier is there and the B supplier is there. The A
Yeah,
supplier has the different catalogs of different items, not a same
yeah,
item I'm saying, and the B
yeah,
has a number of different items which
yeah,
is supplying to the buyer, like Accenture or Deloitte.
yeah.
In this contract catalogy, like, for each and every supplier, different items will be categorized in this contract catalogy.
Yeah, definitely. See, it depends over there. See, the process which you are saying, punch out
Uh,
catalog or internal catalog is a separate process. Why? Because this is only a downstream process. And the
okay.
process which I talked about, that is the contract catalog over there. So if
Okay.
they want to do it, so they have to register themselves first with the buying organization. That means Deloitte or Accenture. Then they have
Okay.
to take part in the sourcing project. Once they win the sourcing project, then only contract will be created. Excuse me. Now this contract will move from upstream to downstream over there. Then it will appear as a part of contract catalogs over there. So
Okay.
immediately they cannot take part over there. So they have to win the sourcing project. Now both supplier A and B is there. They have to win the sourcing project in both Deloitte and Accenture systems over there. Then
Okay.
separately, Deloitte and Accenture will have a contract with them. Then only this contract data will move from upstream to downstream, and it will be appearing as a part of contract catalogs.
Yeah, I had one more question about this supplier onboarding. For example, the suppliers will start initially what you said, the categories we need to onboard the buyers, like Accenture
Yeah,
or Deloitte.
yeah.
For example, like first of all, the 2-3 contracts or something, they are
Mhm.
very well, supplying, and it is very clean sheet for them to supply the buyers. But
Mm.
at the third contract or the fourth contract, in suddenly they have been not doing well and all. At that time, what is the different steps we
See,
can take?
first of all, see, in this scenario, what you have asked is like basically the suppliers who are having contracts, right? They
Yeah.
already have contracts with the buyer. So in this case, they won't be onboarded. Why? Because they has already been onboarded. That is why they are able to take place in the take part in the contracting process. So new supplier who is totally new to the Ariba system,
Mm.
they will go through the onboarding system. Present
Sorry to
supplier generally will not go
no,
through
sorry
this.
to
So in this thing
interrupt
part,
you.
I think you are talking about basically the performance management. So you're
Yeah.
saying, so basically the supplier who has a contract over there, but
Uh,
they are not performing well. So
yeah.
basically you're talking about blocking or deleting of those suppliers, right? Yes, in
Yes.
SAP you can do that also.
Okay, fine. And another question is like, as I said, like I'm not from the SAP MM or SAMRM any background. You have
Hmm.
mentioned the ECC system or S4 HANA, and right now
Hmm.
Ariba. The Ariba is
Yeah,
the latest. As I come to know from your this section. If I
yeah.
do not know ECC or S4 HANA,
Mhm.
directly I can learn Ariba. It doesn't makes me any problem like understanding the concepts and all.
See, first of all, the thing is like as we said that you should have a procurement domain knowledge over here. First of all, second
Yeah, I
of all,
had that one. I had that one.
second of all, second of all, if you want to start as a Ariba, see, even if you're from SAP MM background, that experience will never count as Ariba consultant experience over there. So
Okay.
basically, your profile as well as anybody who is coming from MM profile over there, both of them, it is almost similar over here.
Okay.
Only thing is like you should have a domain knowledge over here. So
Yeah.
that is why we said in our session over here that if you're having procurement domain knowledge, you can attend our session over there,
Okay.
nothing else. But if you don't have this knowledge, then please don't attend.
Yeah, that's what is your terminologies of you have shown me that supply onboard. I do not know other than this approval, receiving purchase orders. I mean, like processing invoices to the finance team and all that terminologies. I am aware about that one.
Yeah,
And like one more question is there from me. Uh, yeah, in the SAP Ariba, you have I think Iraj has shown me some catalogs that SAP Ariba different catalogs. There are some procurement are there, business intelligence are there, and all etc. etc. Different it is there, right? Certifications. To my experience from my MM background, domain knowledge, which would be the suitable one, or I want to know that. Hello.
yeah. So on this part, Venkat, so basically,
Yeah.
see, we will say that there is no preference like this which you should do. But if you want to go ahead with your certification, we
Uh,
will suggest to go ahead with the upstream certification first, because that is having well demand in the market.
Yeah, but why? Because I think Iraj has shown me the screen. If I can explain the SAP certification for Ariba procurement, supply chain collaboration, and Ariba Snap deployment, or Ariba sourcing, spending analysis, that all are there, right? And
Yeah.
supply chain suppliers management or something, it is there, integration and all. Why?
Yeah.
Because I'm not, as I said, like I'm not a technical. That too, I want to mention why I'm not a technical.
See,
I'm also
nobody is
from the.
technical over here. See,
Yeah, no, no,
nobody is technical over here.
yeah, not
So
in particular.
basically, if you want to ask that whichever certification is good for you, then I will
Uh,
suggest Ariba Supply Management, Ariba
uh-huh,
Sourcing, okay,
uh-huh.
and Ariba uh, integration over there. That should be the three things which you should target first. Then you
Okay,
can go ahead with the normal P2P over here.
okay, yeah, yeah. And just now, when you are the others, your people, our colleagues are giving the some questionnaire. I've seen in the online about the job things and all, like in Hyderabad or in like in India. Mostly, they're asking SAP MM background usually. Like if you have that experience, so from SAP
See,
MM
see, see.
to
First of all, I think on this part, what you're talking about over here, Venkat, is basically you're talking about the integration consultant role. If you're
okay,
looking for Ariba functional consultant role, they will never say that you should have SAP MM background over there. So
okay,
that's the
okay.
thing which you should do. Why? Because if you become an integration consultant, basically you
Uh,
will be working with MM and integration thing only. You will not work in Ariba upstream, Ariba downstream. Any configuration you are not going to do it over there.
okay, okay. Fine, fine. I think as per your information, like there's no need of SAP MM experience to go for SAP Ariba, right?
Yeah. So there is no prerequisite for that as of now.
Okay, okay, okay. And like for example, like I'm into totally domain background, right? If I get into this SAP Ariba, what is my future and how it will be there in the future? Like what it may, a pay scale or what it may be like in
See,
the position.
first of all, Venkat, over here, see, this is not only for you, Venkat, but for everybody. See, we cannot guarantee you what is the pay scale, what is the things, or what would be the job which you will be getting over there. Why?
Okay,
Because see, it is for a human. It is not possible to give a guarantee. Why? Because only person who can give guarantee is is God Himself.
no, no, no. I'm
Okay,
not saying about
and
the
from
guarantees
our
and all.
side, yeah, and
Yeah.
from our side, what I will suggest to all of you is like is a chance of probability. Why? Because
Okay.
everything what we do, we have to look from the probability part of site. So if some things we do which will higher our chance of success or basically increase our probability for success, so that we should do. Similarly, what should be the pay scale and all those things. So this particular thing is very difficult to give an answer. Why? Because it depends upon which company you're going, where you're
Yeah.
getting a job, what is the role which you are getting over there. See, if you compare, right now I'm working as a solution architect, somebody is
Okay.
working as a lead under me, then we are having senior consultant under them, then we are having junior consultant under them. So if some junior consultant is going to compare their pay grade with me, it will never be similar.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm not speaking
Obviously,
about like that. As a
no,
fresher
no,
only,
no.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
yeah,
about that.
definitely. So it depends from company to company where you're
Yeah.
going, where you are getting the job. It depends upon that. But as of now,
Yeah.
what I can say at the future of the job market over here in Ariba, it's very bright. Why? Because Ariba is not a cloud solution, and sorry, Ariba is not an on-premise solution, so it will never get replaced by another software. And Ariba is a cloud solution, and everywhere Ariba is in demand. Why? Because most of the client who were there in on-premise procurement solution from SAP side, they are migrating to SAP Ariba. So Ariba
Okay.
consultant is in huge demand in the market, not only in India, outside of India as well. Similarly, at least for the next 15 years, at least,
Yeah.
you don't have to think about moving to some new technology at all. If you learn Ariba and if you start working in Ariba.
Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot. Just I have some questions to Iraj. Iraj,
Yes,
can you hear
Venkat.
me?
Yes, Venkat. I can hear you. Yeah, to
Yeah.
answer
As
your
you
last
said.
question, you can expect in simple word. I give you the answer. You always
Uh,
can expect at least 20 to 25% higher salary than your other procurement tools in SAP Ariba. So that's the best part you can see. Like if you are having 3 to 4 years of experience in SAP Ariba, your
yeah.
package would be at least 20 to 25% more than the people who are working in other similar technology for that. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, good fine. Yeah, one more question is like from my side is like as you said, from tomorrow on the first section is starting.
Yes.
Like I can start up from tomorrow also, but like next 2 days from 4 days I'll not be there. To attend these sections. It will be from, but
No, no, no. One second. I just want to stop here. There is no need to attend for the 4 days because these are the only weekend sessions. Okay, again and again, I'm saying to everyone. So this is going to be only on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. Saturdays 3 hours and Sundays 3 hours. So that would be more feasible for every one of you. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fine. I'll check it out. Thanks a lot, Iraj and Manoj, for the information what you have given. Totally, most of my doubts have been cleared, but because from outside in the market, I've got very so many informations, but all are clear in this section. Thanks a lot for this
Thanks.
section. Thank you.
Thanks for your
Yeah.
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 Welcome,
Okay.
Venkat.
Giri?
Hi, Manoj. It was great. Thank you for the great session. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I really got the whole value of at least getting this, the introduction. And I'm just going to call Iraj about best practices. So I want to understand how you understand the best practices. How do you compare best practices of sourcing between one organization to another? When from an Ariba point of view, this is my question. I will call.
Yeah.
Maybe is it okay to call Iraj and get the details?
Yes, yes. Even you can ask, like I'll take Manoj also in the conference if you want in more in
Yeah.
detail. That's not
And
okay.
Sure.
on this
Sure.
part, to add to Eraj over here, Giri. So basically, I will
Mhm.
say in our session, whenever we are showing a process or whenever we are showing a configuration, okay, we will always talk about the best practices only. Why? Because in Ariba, there is no concept like Y term or Z term. See, in ECC and SRM, if you're doing any configuration, you have to do it in Y or Z terms, right?
Mhm.
But here in Ariba, there is no feature like that. So most of the Ariba consultant, when they will do, that will be against the Ariba best practices. So
Okay.
in our sessions only, what we will do is like I will share my experience over here for the last 7.5 years, which I've learned, and there I will tell you that this is the SAP Ariba best practices, and not only that, I will show you in the system, and I will tell you why. If you go against it, what will be the repercussion in your
Correct.
project?
Yes. Correct. This is the answer I was looking for. If you didn't do the right configuration, what you miss out is what we need to know.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because see, when I begin my career in Ariba, there was no consultant in the market. So I did the mistake. I learned from the mistake. That is why I'd be able to say the repercussion. Why? Because I have also done the mistake. Then I learned from
Excellent.
it. Then I correctly did it.
Perfect. Perfect, Manoj. Thank you. I don't want to take up everybody's time. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Thank you.
Giri.
So the last is from Nayab Nawaz. Nawaz, you are having any query? Please go ahead. Hello, Nawaz.
Yeah. Yes, hello. Am I audible? Hello, hello.
Yeah, you are audible, but your voice is very low. Would you please come near to your microphone?
Now it's audible.
Yeah, please go
Now
ahead,
it's okay.
Nawaz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nawaz, please go ahead.
Yeah. Thanks for the session, Manoj and Nara. It was a very nice session. Just want to ask, can you tell me the book which I can brush up my procurement knowledge, basic
Yeah, sure,
knowledge?
Nawaz. Yeah, sure, Nawaz. I will be sharing you. There is one SAP press book on uh, procurement. Okay, so which will brush up your knowledge on this one. So I'll share you. I have your email address. Okay, so I'll
Okay.
share you after this.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So that is a PDF or what? Means like it is an Amazon
It's
link
a
or
generic
PDF?
press book, SAP press book, which gives a clear idea of how the procurement process works in SAP Ariba, because procurement process works differently in different areas, right?
Right.
So that's a
Right.
book I send you to. It's a free book.
Yeah.
I can send it to you.
Because I want basic knowledge which will be using in Ariba. So that's it for the procurement.
No problem. Yeah.
Okay.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks
All
a lot.
right, guys. So I think, yeah, thanks, Nawaz. Yeah, I think, Manoj, we have done with all the queries. I think a lot of participants already left. Also. So shall we
Yeah.
conclude the session for the day, and we'll connect it tomorrow at 7 p.m. for the first session. Okay, this was the demo session, and all of you will be getting the recordings for the same. Okay, and please take out some time for tomorrow's session also. There's going to be really give more insight practically on the server itself, like you'll be seeing the server and how the configuration and all will be taught. You'll be getting a methodology from our side. So request every one of you to attend tomorrow's session as well. Okay, all right then, guys. So shall we conclude the session for the day, Manoj?
Yeah, definitely. I think, Eraj, we can conclude our session for today. Tomorrow, I think, we will be seeing all of you guys at the same time. once again.
And Manoj, there are a couple of questions from Rajesh here. Okay, is it
Yeah.
prerequisite to have background to learn Ariba? No, Rajesh, there
No.
is no, as
MM.
said. You are from side, so you are going to be a little on upper hand, but it's no such thing like you must have a background. There is no mandatory thing you should have a background. No, I'm a SAP PIPO technical consultant and would like to know if we need to have a domain knowledge.
Yeah.
Of course, you need to have a domain knowledge of procurement. That's mandatory. Okay, we always say you should have a domain knowledge. Otherwise, everything looks like sounds like Greek and Latin for you. Okay, you can't able to connect the dots. So that's very important to understand the concept. First thing is you should know a little bit of terminology. If you don't have terminology, we say like don't recommend at all. We don't appreciate everyone to go for this session. Okay. Yeah, Rajesh. So these are the things. Yeah, I think most all the queries been answered properly in the chat window also. Okay. Yeah. And there is some question. Could you please add? Okay. Manoj, can you tell some good books? Yeah, that is been done already. Is it prerequisite? Yeah. Regarding guided bank, yes, already been told. Zilan, guided buying and all. Yeah, we are going to have it. Yeah, all right then. And Manoj, really appreciate your knowledge sharing here. Thanks a lot for your patience, and thanks a lot in answering all the queries here. Really appreciate, man. Yeah, really, it was a
Yeah.
very wonderful by you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thanks, Iraj, over here. But I think thanks all of us over here, Iraj, and not only me, to you, Sana, as well as all the BRDs. Why? Because it's a joint teamwork. We all have been working hard, so that is why the result is such a smooth and transition and smoothful transition for our session over here.
Thank you. Appreciate, Manoj. Yeah. So I'm concluding the session. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks, Manoj. Good night, and have a
Yeah.
nice day for the people. Thank you.
Good night, guys.